11. I really appreciate you. Let's get in. So this is going to be just a random reading, whatever comes out about your relationship. If you're single, maybe this could show up in regards to you and a coworker or a parent or a child. It's possible, but generally I look for readings about relationships, so intimate ones. So we'll just see what comes out for you, but that's what I'm aiming for, okay? All right, let's go in. But it is possible. Someone had watched me before and said, hey, you know, that's what me and my daughter are going through right now. It's crazy that that came out, you know? So it is possible. All right. Hi, Jay. I'm glad you caught me too. Let's turn on some light here. There we go. Okay. All right. Okay. Hi, Doja. After this random, whatever comes out video, I will be doing the 100 Club readings. I just want to give a reminder, it's January. Some of you guys have run out of the 100 clubs because sometimes, and you'll know yourself, if you've asked 1, 2, or 3 questions at one time, it adds up over a period of time. So if you did run out of 100 club questions, you can rejoin. It is free right now with the $122 monthly membership on my website. It's free and included, along with the $11.11, the $22, the $44, and the 1 card random monthly, as well as half off the emergency reading. And it also now includes a free class every month. So you can do tarot and astrology over a period of months. So if you would like to be part of the 100 Club reading, I suggest you spend $122, a little bit more, get in the subscription part of that, get it for free, and a bunch of other readings for free. So just wanted to let you guys know about it. All right. My gosh, we barely started 2 minutes ago and we got something going on. What is going on? What did the narcissist say? It doesn't sound like a very nice name. So I'm assuming the message isn't very nice. All right. Well, markers, isn't that exciting for the very beginning of a video? Hey, that just means my videos are spreading, getting more attention, and obviously I got the attention of the wrong one, but at least it's being seen out there, so that's good. Just trolling. Yeah. At least my videos are being seen, markers. All right, let's see what's going on. All right, random reading. Do I have the names of the 100 Club? Yeah, I do. And I have the notes that I wrote down last time. Let's see. Okay. Good Lordy. They're just like, can you use us? Can you please? We want to be in the reading. Okay, fine. I'll use you guys. And this is Mystic Moon's Oracles. Old school, one of her old school oracles. I've always loved Mystic Moon's cards. Haven't watched her in years, but that just reminded me I need to watch her. All right. Let's get clarification. Random. All right, so bottom of the deck over here, we have pride and ego. There, so you guys could see. All right. We're dealing with someone that is an air sign. Libra, Gemini energy. And then we're dealing with someone that is a Leo, but a very controlling, mean, not that attractive of a Leo. But they think they're all that and a whole bag of chips. It could be the same person with both of those signs in their chart, or it could be two separate people. Just keep that in mind. There's a breakup happening between these two people, I feel. And they're not talking. They got into a huge argument. The split was already spoken about. It was like, it's over, it's done. However, they're scared about what's going to happen when they actually move out or they actually separate. You know, that's that in-between period where you get in a fight and you both agree that you're going to break up. But then the next day you go to work and you come home and you're tired and you're like, should I start packing? Are they going to say something? Is it really over? Maybe we just lost our temper. We call this older laziness. It's difficult for older people to break up than younger people, because when you're young, you're ready to get out as soon as you're in that fight. When you're young, you have all that energy. You're tossing crap over the balcony. You're throwing the suitcase on the bed. You're like, boom, here it is. Pack, pack, pack. You want that person to be scared to lose you right now and chase you down the street and beg you to stay, or have some big, you know, monumental emotional fight where they call you all night and, you know, they want that. But when you're older, you know, sometimes you've got kids living in the home or pets, or you share stuff and you're just like, who's leaving? You or me? I'm not going. That's if you want me to go, you're going to have to go through all the trouble. And I kind of feel like it's something like that. It's a little bit of stagnation. It's like, I don't want to talk to you, but I'm not taking any action. You know? And it's like, I know we're breaking up, but who's going to make the first move? Page of Swords. Who's going to pack the suitcase? Who's going to call the bank? Who's going to separate the car insurance? Who's going to get off the phone account? Who's going to put down a deposit on another place? Or who's going to move in with mom or grandma? You know, who's packing? And with the World in reverse, it's like no one's packing. And it's extreme because it's completely over. And any reason to stay here further is just ridiculous. The reason this couple here that I'm reading for has broken up is lies and deception, and the other person knows they're lying to their face. This person has said, and it could be vice versa, but someone has said, did you cheat? Did you steal? Did you do this behind my back? What have you, you know, tell me the truth. And this other person just tells them to their face, no, I didn't do that. I didn't do anything. I swear I've never cheated on you. I've never had sex with someone else. And then they're like, well, it wasn't technically sex. We didn't penetrate. It was oral, or we used our hands, or we just sent images and pictures over the phone. We just had phone love, you know, it wasn't physical. And this person's like, that's just as bad. Why are you lying to me? And maybe they think it's worse than it really is, but it doesn't matter whether that person penetrated or not. It doesn't matter. The cheating happened. Because the biggest concern in this reading is the emotional infidelity, which is you left my bed, you left my heart, you left my mind, you left my spirit, and you connected with somebody else. See, people don't care if it's physical or not, even if it's half physical, half not. It doesn't make it worse or less or better than. You no longer wanted just my energy. I just wasn't enough for you. My body didn't do it for you. My voice didn't do it for you. My energy, my space didn't do it for you. Our connection and commitment didn't do it for you. And the big problem here is, was there red flags? Yes. There was literally red flags. And this person is totally aware of it. Absolute red flags. But someone wanted to disregard it. So now what? I got to write that down because that's kind of what's going on here. So now what? All right. What does this person want to say about the cheating? Ooh, my right ear just got real silent, and I was focusing on the pride and ego card. Someone's pride has just been shattered. It will happen in divine time. I want to communicate, but it's not time yet. I know you're my soulmate. Please be patient with me. So there's a double situation. There's 2 over here and 2 over here. I'm starting to see this as a double-sided reading. This is straight down the middle. Broken karmic cycles and fear. On the left side of the karmic cycles is stress, misery and anxiety, lies and deception. On the right side of the reading is I'm calling you in, guide and vibrations, to go to another soulmate, but you're not talking to me. Page of Swords. So I don't know, I need some more clarity here. Someone's like, leave this situation and go find your soulmate. This is not the one for you. They've hurt you. They've lied to you. They're cheating on you. Get out of this connection. The signs are showing you a way out. Please get out of this situation and go be with somebody else. I feel like this is a reading about somebody who's like, please be with me. I'm the right one. Why are you staying with this person? I know we're meant to be together and I'm committed to our love commitment. They just refuse to leave this commitment. I'm no good, toxic. I think it's speaking for itself. You are definitely with someone that is no good for you and there's somebody better, or it's not about you and you're a cross watcher. And this is about your person who is with someone that's no good for them. You want them to come on the other side. You're just like, please come on the other side. But they're not talking to you. Page of Swords in reverse. They don't want to communicate. They're being childish about this. How does this soulmate over here feel? We've got Pisces, Virgo over there. How does this soulmate feel? I'm available. I'm available. Come be with me. Come be with me. I'm waiting for you. Heart on lockdown. Okay? I'm being very patient. Okay? And she's saying, would you just take off the rose-colored glasses? Stop pretending like this relationship is better than it is. The stars are trying to tell you to get the heck out of here. All right. Why is this person being so committed to this other individual? What's holding them back, Spirit? Holding them back. Scathe, scythe, whatever. That shouldn't be holding anyone back. Funny, because we got this woman down here, 29 at the bottom, and this woman over here. Oh my gosh. It's like choosing between two. Okay, so why not just make the decision? Why is this decision so hard? Why is the decision so hard to make? Can I get a why? Because death hurts. Look at that, Scorpio. Scorpio's holding them back. Oh, you're right. He could very well be scared of the karmic's wrath. Witchy Sabrina, that is a very insightful message. I believe you, and I think that, thank you for adding that. 2910 over there, this other woman, and it could be a man, but this other person could be wrathful, taking revenge, and scared of the aftermath, scared of being cut, scared of being hurt, scared of something bad happening to them, scared of the loss, maybe even scared to death, thinking this person may have threatened to kill them. You know, my uncle was with a really twisted woman, and I'll be honest with you, he's still with her today, and he's having kidney failure. You know, spiritually, what affects the kidney? Fear. Fear. That woman many years ago told him if he ever left her, she would kill him. She said, I would have nothing to live for. The kids are grown and gone, and they don't want anything to do with me. I don't have a family that's around. I don't work. I don't make my own money. I've got nothing better to do in my life. No one who's attracted to me, because she's dog ugly. And I do mean dog ugly. So she's like, if you leave, I'll kill you. I'd rather shoot my own head or go to prison and just not give enough. I'd rather do that than lose you. And it's sad because he's not happy with her. But he thought that she was genuinely that crazy. He genuinely thought she would never let him go. She would make it her life's mission to hunt him down. So he stayed. And he spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on that woman. Ugly woman. And bought her the kitchen of her dreams, remodeled it, whatever she wanted to go shopping at stores, he would go and buy. Take her out to eat every single day because she didn't want to cook. So he's just been eating out at restaurants every single day for decades. And now he's sick with kidney failure, and what a wonderful life he's got to spend with such a wonderful woman. I hope that doesn't happen to this person. I hope that this person is not truly scared about death, being unalived by this other woman. It could be a man, but it definitely could be a factor on why this person is scared to leave. personally, with the Nine of Swords there, if that person did make a threat, they're all talk. They're not going to do it. Queen of Wands in the reverse. Good liar, good actor, good manipulator. But I'll talk. The threatening person, I do feel is strongly a Leo. Because I got the Queen of Wands there. Then I got 29, this other woman, and she's wearing red. And then I've got the Sun card down here. And then we have toxic. So I definitely feel like it's a Leo that this person is committed to. And I think they're a little bit crazy. Nine of Swords. Coffin is the painful change and transition. Let's try not to focus on an actual death threat. Let's look at this in a different way, okay? The reason why this person may not be leaving this other individual, or it's very hard to leave, or we'll just say is fearful, is there's a fear of a painful change in the transition. It affects them mentally, physically, emotionally, and financially. They're going to feel pain throughout their body and their mind, and certainly their wallet. It represents depression, loss, and bankruptcy. It can even be sickness and even bed rest. It represents all endings and sometimes death. The coffin of the Revere deck harks back to the ancient Egyptian period. Although traditionally seen as an ending or a finality, it can also be symbolic of an initiation that brings final reckoning of a life purpose. And it's often when faced with a life-changing event that we're going to evaluate the important aspects of life. The significance of this card can actually represent an ending of something the way we know it. So that's a lot of the reason. They're used to this person, the way life has been, and it's difficult to accept change. And like I said earlier, the older you get, the more difficult it is to go through a breakup. I remember I used to break up all the time with my people, my boyfriend, my fiance. And it was an immediate fight. It would probably be 2, 3 in the morning. I'd be packing crap in the car, going to a friend's house, you know, nothing holding me back. He'd come chasing, drinking, crying, begging, involving everybody in the drama. Oh, the drama. Driving by the house. One time I had such a classic breakup. He tried to do this Romeo Juliet thing with me. We lived on a second floor. He climbed the balcony because I wouldn't let him in the door. And the sliding glass door was open. He used to live with me, obviously, so he knew about the house, but I didn't let him back in. So he climbs the balcony and jumps in on top of me. I'm crying. I'm upset. Well, get out of here. And he's like, I love you. I'm not going anywhere. You can't get rid of me. I love you. You're killing me. Do you want me to die? It was so dramatic. I think we were like 19 years old. Such a dramatic youth. And I was like, oh, he really loves me. He really loves me. He climbed a balcony and busted in and wouldn't let me go. He really loves me. That's how young people think, guys. They want the dramatics. Their brains are not fully developed. Cut them some slack. They want the movies to come to life, you know? Nowadays, that wouldn't work. It would be like, I'm calling the cops. You have 5 seconds to get off the property. You're blocked. Don't call, or I'll charge you with trespassing and harassment. You know, nowadays people are like terrified as adults to go after someone when you say it's over, you know. They'll look for red flags. Am I blocked? Yes or no. See, this is what people do today. They're like, is it safe to pursue this person even after a breakup? Here's the checkbox list. Am I blocked? If yes, it's safe to pursue. I'm sorry. If yes, it is not safe to pursue. If no, it is safe to pursue. Are you blocked on social medias? If yes, it is not safe to pursue. If no, it is safe to message. Slide in that DM. If you call, do they text you and say, did you call, or I missed your call? Or do they ignore it? You know, it gives you red flags. I'm not going to go on and on with the list. It's funny, but, you know, I think we all have a pretty good idea of when it's really over and when it's not. And I am a short girl. And he did put it on me too, and I liked it. Not all short girls are crazy. I mean, I'm crazy in other ways. I will give you a full admission as a crazy, mixed, kind of Latina-looking girl. I'm a mutt, though. I was not afraid to run him over. And I did, just a little bit, a couple times. Just enough to scare him. I didn't kill him. I didn't break a leg, although I could have. I didn't. But he knew. And he was Latin. He could handle it. He wasn't scared. He knew what he was signed up for. Don't play. He was all right. But we were there. We were a little bit of crazy. We did some crazy stuff with the cars. I never smashed his car or anything like that. Okay, I take it back. I did. I did drive into his car a little bit. I didn't use a bat. I didn't cut the tires. I didn't break a windshield or nothing like crazy like that. But I did drive up, and I kept it moving. And I didn't slow down. And I did hit the front end of his car. It was actually my car, but that's another story. It was in my name, but that's a whole other story. So believe me, maybe I'm a little crazy, but not like that. But I liked the romantic stuff, all that begging and pleading and I'm going to die and kill myself stuff. I liked it back then. I liked it. I was like, good. You should feel like you're going to die without me. If you don't feel like you're going to die without me, we're not made for each other. I'm kidding. I mean, I'm not kidding back then. But I've grown up since then, guys. I'm not that same psycho girl I was 20 years ago, okay? Anyways, I don't know what's going on with these people or how old they are. But I knew this person is playing. He's playing the field. He's got 2 girls, perhaps one blonde girl, one brunette, perhaps. Could be a girl playing 2 guys. I don't know how your story's going to fit. But I will say this, they're scared. And it could be scared for their life. This woman or man could be truly psycho, or it could just be, like I said, simply they're afraid of change and they're too darn old to mess with that mess. You know what I'm saying? Too old to mess with it. You know, if I got married today and we had a fight, not a serious fight, but I mean, it depends. Cheating, that's a whole nother level. Get the hell out. But if it was just a regular fight, like, you know, attitudes, stuff like that, you know, you could sleep on the couch, but you're not going anywhere. You could sleep in the guest room. You could sleep on the beanbag. You could sleep on the floor, but you're not moving out. You're not moving out. You're stuck. But if cheating happens, you know, it depends on the assets, how stuck that person is. And maybe we have to consider that in this reading. Is there assets that are making this person scared to go? Afraid to leave, afraid of the consequences? You know, is there a car that they could lose? Is there property of value in some sense that could be lost? You know, we really have to think of the monetary loss with this card that may lead this person to being in fear of leaving the situation. And like I said, a lot of us think it doesn't matter. You know, at 20 years old, it doesn't matter because you don't own crap at 20 years old anyways. Hell, even if you're 25, you don't own crap. Sorry, no offense, young people. But you just don't really own crap. When you're 30s, 40s, 50s, you got a lot to lose. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be an ageist about that, but, you know, people tend to stick around for property values and stuff like that, you know? You guys saw that Ready Player One. How many of you guys liked that movie, Ready Player One, the video game movie, right? Well, when they were going to go into the war, like if they die in the game without extra lives or anything, they lose years of the things they built up with their actual money. So it was like a savings account running around in that game. People had spent thousands and thousands of dollars into stuff for the game. So if they died, it was like the end of the world. They wanted to jump out of a window. But this one guy, he was the bad guy's henchman. He was like, "Don't kill me, man. That's a bomb. That's going to kill all of us. You got to be playing. You're joking, right? You're not going to use that." And the guy was like, "Oh, I'm going to use it cuz I'm not going to let him win. So, if I can't win, no one's going to win." He's like, "And I'm going to use it." He's like, "No." His henchman ran away. He's like, "That bomb will destroy the whole game." He's like, "Please don't use it." And he's like, "I'm going to use it." And then he pulls the plug and the bomb goes off and he's running out and he's like, "I've got 10 years worth of shiznit in this game." And then you hear the money sign or all the money change coin sound fall to the ground. And it's like, he lost all his coin value, all his character skins, all his power-ups, all his tools. It's just gone. You know, and I'm just saying, like in a breakup, in a divorce, in a separation, you check out. You lose. You could lose your Corvette if you have one, if you're in a middle-age crisis. You could lose your house if you invested in a house with this person. You could go back to renting when you were an owner. Your credit could go from 800 to 420. You know? You can go from driving around a nice Lambo or a nice Land Rover or this is a nice Nissan Titan, you know? And now you riding a hoopty. Gone. You can't do that because now you're spending more money by yourself, so the car's got to go. Now you're rolling around in a 1996 purple Honda Civic with the fiber hood and primer on a fender because it was never painted to match the body because it had to get fixed. And the heat works, but not the air conditioning. Had to break it out. So, you know, we could sit here and joke all day long. But the reality is, this person may actually have a lot to lose, and possibly even children. You know, let's not forget people threat. And I don't see children in here, but, you know, if you love someone and they're in this situation, you got to know they could lose their kids. They could lose custody. They could lose rights, you know. And it's hard to start over. I think it's very smart for people to have a prenup. I think it should go both ways. But I think if someone is very wealthy or they own properties, they own businesses going into a relationship, I don't care if you make $300,000 a year or $3 million a year. I think you should have a prenup, because there could be some lowlife, somebody that doesn't have nothing, that wants to be with you, cheat on you, and leave you, and take it. Just take it. Because, you know, that's wrong. For a man or a woman, that's wrong to do to someone. And you still got to worry nowadays, too, that it could kill you. You see all these Lifetime movies? Those scare me. Some crazy relationships. It kind of has me glad I'm not married. These people are like, I made you. You would be nothing without me. You're not going to move on. You're not going to have anyone else. I'm going to kill you. I just watched the, I don't know if her name was Anna Broderick. I don't know what her first name was, but I think her last name was Broderick. She ended up full-fledged psycho, going up in his house when they broke up and destroying his home, vandalizing, cutting his pictures, spray paint, I mean, ripping, cutting. She just vandalized the 80s, but now we have cameras. She couldn't really hang in this day and age. But in that day and age, there was no cameras, security cameras, not generally. And if that wasn't enough to scare him, she didn't even hire someone. She was like, screw the hiring. I'm crazy enough to go ahead and shoot them myself. I'm so angry. She had 3 kids. She loved him, but not enough. She loved herself way more than she loved those kids. She didn't care. She didn't care that she was going to leave them fatherless and motherless. She didn't care. Selfish. She went into that house. At this point, he had gotten involved with his secretary, which I'm not saying is flavorful. That's terrible. It's terrible for a woman to endure a younger woman that they worked with behind your back having a new relationship. That's downright awful to endure. But not to kill someone, you know? And she goes up in that house with a gun. She planned it for like 2-3 days. And she just walks up in there as they're asleep in the bed, nice and quietly. She got a copy of their key, stole it from their oldest daughter, and she just blew them away. They were asleep in their beds. Their backs were turned to the door. They didn't even know it was coming for them. They were asleep, just got shot in their sleep multiple times. She didn't think about shooting herself, though. Yeah, she's too important, but she went to prison. And you know what? I don't know if she got out or what happened, but crazy. And that was in the 80s. And you think nothing crazy would ever touch you? That no one you know would ever be that crazy? But you really don't know. And I live in a city where there's a lot of military. There's a military base. You know, NORAD's down here. There's a lot of military, a lot of Air Force, a lot of Army, a little bit of Navy. But I have never dated military. Not that I want to be judgmental on that, but I could have. There's way more military guys in this city than there's girls. I'll tell you that. And never interested, because I think they're triggered. They're not right. They've been through war. They've been through training, violence, guns. I mean, every military person I've ever known that's been involved with someone is a little bit crazy. I'm not saying they're all crazy, but violent, yes. Even mentally disturbed to where they shouldn't be with some of the girls they're with and they're still okay with it and they're just like a ticking time bomb. Yeah. Seen a lot of these guys are a ticking time bomb. And a lot of them are Air Force. They're ready to blow. Like they've endured abuse from women for so much and you just could see it in their eyes. It's like they're going to be that movie Falling Down. Just scared. But the Army guys that I've known, they have PTSD, a lot of them, especially if they're over 35. The young ones, maybe they haven't got touched in the head yet, but the older ones, they've been touched in the head. And one guy was cleaning his, and I was like, I don't feel safe, even if they are military trained, because some of them are just dumb. I've had people handle guns way better than military. But he ended up cleaning his gun out. His dog was around, never point or aim a firearm towards any living thing. You know, even if you think it's loaded or unloaded, you just don't point it in that vicinity ever. And anyone that has a brain that has dealt with a firearm, especially here in Colorado, we know, do not point your gun in any vicinity of any living thing. Not even your own foot, man. But he did, and I think he was drinking. He had an alcoholic issue. He was drinking. He's cleaning his gun. Shot and killed his best friend, his dog, that he had for many years. So he had emotional issues. And even before that happened, he had emotional issues to the fact where he was drinking excessively and coping with what? Probably war. Okay? That's just one individual I knew kind of well. I dated another guy that was in the military, and I was young, and he was straight up psycho. And I dated him for about a week. And, you know, military guys want to get out of the barracks. They want to say they have a wife. They want to get off and get paid more and get off the barracks, because the barracks, you have to share a room. It's like jail. It's a tiny little room like jail. You have to share a bathroom with tons of guys, and it's just terrible. It's terrible. I've been to the barracks, believe me. The military is no picnic at all. Anyways, he lied to his sergeant and said that we were engaged to be married, and he was moved in with me within a week of knowing this guy. He made a copy of my key. I let him sleep over at my house once. I know, I'm a little hoe, but that's what happened. He was cute. Anyways, I was trying to get even with my ex at the time. So this happens. I show up back at home. He's waiting for me, cooking some freaking Italian sausage, tomato sauce dinner stuff in the crock pot. Didn't even, I don't know what's going on. He didn't, I was shocked. I guess he thought he was a keeper. And I'm like, wow, you know, I'm coming home for work. Thank you for the dinner, but you're not welcome here. I never gave you a key. What's going on? Ended up trying to choke me out, saying that he loves me and we're going to be married and this and that. And he told his mom about me. I mean, this is level psycho, right? This is level psycho. I told my mom about you. We're getting married, this and that. I'm like, I've barely known you. No, my parents don't even know about you. This is not happening. You need to go. And he wouldn't leave for 2 days. So he missed his whatever morning PT. Sergeant came calling, looking for him. And he went somewhere. He wouldn't leave my house. And I told the sergeant, I said, your boy is nuts. I am not engaged to him. He won't leave. He broke in my house. You know, because you can report him to the military. At least I knew. Not everyone knows that, but if you can report someone to the military police department, they will handle him much faster than the city police. So Sergeant and someone else, MP, showed up at my apartment to arrest him, get him out of there. I was scared for my life. I'm like, is this guy gonna stalk me? Gonna kill me? Like, I didn't even know. I was terrified. They probably scared the life out of him, though. He went over there. Maybe they gave... I never saw him again. I never heard from him again. His last name was Mancini. And I'm glad I never heard from him again. I never... Thank God. Who knows? But like I said, military touches you in the head. It makes you a little crazy. You know? And those are just my little personal stories that are nothing, because I wasn't even seeing anyone seriously in the military. But I will say this one girl, she was my friend. She was very pretty. And she had beautiful blue eyes, dark brown hair. She had beautiful golden skin. She was just like a model. I used to think she looked like a Victoria's Secret model. She got with this cute guy. He was buff. He was cut. He had the nice body. He had a nice car. He'd been in the military a few years. He was going up in rank. He had been to Afghanistan. He had been to a few places. And they went and bought they had a couple kids. They got together. They were together about 3-4 years. During this time, she had 2 babies with him. Maybe it was just 1 baby, now that I think of it. It might have just been 1. Yeah, it was 1 son. 1 little boy. He was 2. And they went and bought a really nice house in Fountain, which is, of course, where all the military go. Nobody wants to move to Fountain. Fountain smells. Fountain stinks. Fountain doesn't have nice shopping. It's just fields and nice houses for military. And there's nothing to do. Nobody wants to be in Fountain. It smells like cow poop. Anyways, we're not going to go there. These poor military guys have to endure the worst places to live. I don't get it. Get off the base. Go somewhere good. I don't know. Anyways, she moved down there from where we were at, which is a very nice part of town, to freaking Fountain. I'm like, why would you move down there, girl? Why? Because the house is nice. Yeah, the house is nice. But have you looked around? Anyways, the house was nice. Whatever. It was a new built, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, brand new custom built house. They always make it, somewhat nice. Because why? They want you to live close to base. So you're like 10 minutes away from work. And you won't be late. You'll show up, rain, sleet, or snow. So anyways, he went straight up psycho. They were having problems in their relationship. He started accusing her of cheating, and she wasn't. She absolutely was not cheating. She was very in love with him and had this little boy. But she didn't want to be with him because he was controlling, a little bit violent. She didn't like the way he acted half the time. And she just told him, I need some space. She didn't ask for a divorce. She didn't ask him to move out. She just said, I want some space. I just want some time to think about this relationship. And I think you and I could use some space. That same day, he showed up, missed work at the base. It's probably on the news. You guys could probably find this story on the news out here in Fountain, Colorado. But he ended up holding her hostage in the house. And he held a gun to his own child's head and told her if she leaves him, she's going to kill that child. He's going to kill that child. And then he's going to make her watch. And then he's going to kill himself. He didn't say he was going to kill her, just the child. So she's terrified out of her mind, and she's like, okay, I'm sorry I said that. I love you. Let's work it out. It's going to be okay. You just need some help. And he was like, no, I don't believe you. I don't believe you. I think you're lying, and I think you're cheating. And she was like, I'm not cheating. I swear I'm not. He didn't believe her. He believed she was having an extra affair somewhere, and she was definitely going to leave. So after hours as a hostage, I mean, it must have been all day, she didn't show up to her family. They reported it. They said she was supposed to be here. They came to the house. She wouldn't let him in. She was like, we're busy right now. You're going to have to come back. They knew something was wrong. And she had told her family before, he's been a little crazy with the gun. He's been a little crazy. She doesn't feel comfortable around him with his mental state. And the family called the police, and they had the whole SWAT outside the house, completely circled around it. And screw the police department, because you know what? They failed. They should have broke in and handled business. They should have got a sniper, but they didn't. They just stayed out there trying to negotiate, talk for about freaking 4 hours. They had 4 hours to do their job, and they just stood out there. Meanwhile, they're talking in negotiations. Let her out. Let the baby out. Come on, talk with us, man. You don't want to do this, all this and that. He realized he screwed up his life completely. And he realized it didn't matter what happened. He was going to lose her. And he was going to go through whatever separation, divorce was going to happen with the baby. He didn't want to handle it. So the unthinkable happens. He shoots the child. And my poor friend ended up witnessing her child getting shot in the head. I can't imagine. I can't imagine. She tried to grab her baby, but he shot him. And he had tied this baby up to a high chair, so she couldn't just grab him quickly. He was tied up in the high chair. She tried to talk with him, and it just wasn't happening. So as she runs out of the house, as she's trying to run out the front door to scream to the police, come in and try to save my baby, he shoots her in the back about, I want to say 6 times. Maybe less. It probably was less, but he had an automatic, so I don't know. It was, I want probably at least 3 times. Just doot, right in the back. Didn't go for her head, just got her in the back. And she fell to the ground. She passed out. And then he goes and shoots himself. He's gone. So the police now, recovering after this murder scene, put her in the hospital. She was in a coma and unconscious for, I want to say, a month. She woke up immediately asking, "Where's my baby? Where's my baby?" That's the first thing she wanted. Where's my baby? He's 2 years old, beautiful, green-eyed, curly-haired, precious little boy. And it's just my friend. She survived, you know. But my God, she didn't even want to live anymore. They told her, like, "I'm sorry. He murdered your son, and he took his life right after that, after he shot you." And she just couldn't come to terms with, God, why did you let me survive this? I would have rather died with my child than survived this. And I haven't spoke to her in some years. I don't know how she's doing. But she was absolutely destroyed, period, for years after that. And she just lost herself, like anyone would. I'm sorry to give you that depressing story. But again, these are the stories I know of that are reasons why, honey, I don't mess with military men. This is why. Now, the movies look great. These military guys look awesome. We see all these veterans today, and they're all wonderful men. But the ones I've seen here, touched in the head. I don't know. Maybe things have changed. Maybe the Navy's different, because I've only seen, you know, what Army has done. But those wars that they have on people, when people go to Afghanistan, when people have to witness what they've seen, when people go through war and death, they're changed for the rest of their life. They're just changed. And a lot of them have nightmares. They're threatening. They're scary, you know, and a lot of people that have to deal with men coming home from war, they suffer just as much as their husbands do, because they have to endure being terrified in their house every day, terrified if they're going to wake up tomorrow, terrified if they're going to snap and pull that trigger, terrified if they're going to beat down the door of someone else because they're in a nightmare that they can't wake up from post-traumatic stress from the war. It's terrifying. It's terrifying. Oh, Witchy, so you had someone that was an abuser, but he was never in the military? Well, yeah. So, I mean, in essence, people can suffer post-traumatic stress from abusive homes as well. I just don't think it's as common as thousands of men going to war. You know, it's kind of one in a whole bunch may have some abuse records like that, but I don't know what's going on in this reading. I just wanted to share that because believe me, there are valid times where people should be scared of their partner. And you should be very careful who you're with, because you might end up with some crazy, very crazy person that is absolutely toxic, and you end up having kids or being committed or getting married or sharing a life, and then you don't know what's going to make him snap. So is this person validated, legit, that they have something to be worried about with this ex that could very well be threatening their life or livelihood? I think losing property is the least of this person's worries. We have a coffin and a freaking knife as far as why they're not leaving. And then we got this woman here that she tried to come out first, and then this other woman came out. And again, it's if you leave me for somebody else or this specific person, we're going to have problems, you know? Maybe it's story time with Stephanie today, but I'm going to share one more story because I'm awesome and you love it secretly. Maybe you're bored. I don't know, but I'm going to share it with you. But Martin Lawrence and Angela Bassett in A Thin Line Between Love and Hate. Ooh, that was a good movie. But man, he got with this gorgeous, fine girl and he was just like playing her. He didn't really love her. He loved her money. He loved the way he looked around her. He loved the power he had around her. She was gorgeous. He definitely wanted to have that, you know? Definitely. But he didn't fall in love, but he didn't care because he wasn't even looking for love. He was just looking to have a girl, a beautiful girl, you know, and brag to his guys about her. But then he ended up falling in love with his childhood sweetheart. And yeah, you know, you can't help that. He always loved her. She came back. He realized he had big feelings for her and he wanted to marry her. His grandma loved her. You know, she was one of the family. So he ends up breaking things off with the rich, beautiful girl. And she can't take that. And then she finds out he broke up with her because he's in love with this other woman, his high school or, you know, childhood sweetheart. And she ends up insulting that woman to his face. She's like, you left me for that ugly, no good, blah, 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 you know, insult after insult woman. Some nobody, some broke AF. And was she as beautiful as her? No, she was not as beautiful as her, but that didn't matter. But the fact that she was so conceited that she had to brag. Like, look at me. Look at my body. Look at my hair. Look at my looks. Look at how wealthy I am. You're going to leave all this for that? And she loved him in her own psycho way. She took him shopping. She wanted to take him on trips. She wanted to have babies with him. She was in love. But she was psycho. So she's like, you're going to leave me for that? For that? Okay, watch. And she didn't threaten him, but she threatened her. And I'm bringing that up because that might be an important twist to this story for you. Because we got two women. We got one woman over here that's looking pretty mad with this skeeth, whatever, in the coffin. And then she shows up. She's looking real nice and pretty with her rose, you know, like she's a good girl. She's nice. She's nice, you know. And could it be like a thin line between love and hate? Where that woman said, I'm going to kill your girlfriend. I'm going to go after her just to hurt you. Okay? I'm going to put her in the coffin just to hurt you, you know? So there was that threat. So he was so terrified, Martin Lawrence, that he ended up pushing away the woman he loved and acting like he didn't want to be with her anymore. And telling her to leave him alone because he was trying to protect her from being hurt till he got rid of that crazy girl. And she knew something was weird. She's like, that's not like him. That's not like him at all. I don't know. I'm not going to tell you the whole movie, but listen, there's some crazy people in this world. So could this person have a legit fear? I think so. With the skeed, whatever. To everything there is a season, and to every time and to every purpose under the sun. Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1 through 8. Be careful, I am swift and I am sharp. I cut with precision, with a sharp, clear vision. I am an accident, a deep cut, a break, and sometimes a difficult decision that needs to be made. I can bring good harvest, or I can bring danger. Look at what I'm cutting nearby. It just might be your wage or relationship. Well, it's clearly cutting this woman, so that's what it's cutting. It's sharp, it's dangerous, it's a call to action. It means business. It's definitely something to be scared of. And I just want to say, from the lower, lighter end of we don't have a lot to worry about, this person is scared to make a big decision. This person is worried about money loss, financial issues. That's on the lighter side. This woman or man could destroy them financially. Let's just say this breakup could destroy them. On the worst side of things, they could be dealing with a crazy person that wants to hurt them and cause pain, or cause pain to the person they love. So we do have someone a little crazy. Touched in the head. All right. Let's read further into this story. Are you guys still with me, or did I lose you with my stories? I'm very sorry about that. Not trying to lose you guys. Remember, it will happen with divine time. They want to communicate with this other person that it's over, but they haven't found the right time to really, I guess, put it out there, you know? To really put it out there and be like, hey, it's over. We need to talk about where you're going, where I'm going. Again, it could also be they're older and they're scared of the problems that come along with moving. But there's also some other crazy concerns here. Spirit, what's going to happen during this breakup? You can expect them to take action on a new decision for themselves. They are going to break up with that karmic, in that karmic cycle. They're absolutely making that decision. They're definitely scared. They're not feeling strong enough right now. It's going to happen. They have every intention to divorce and leave this person. They can't find the time to get away by themselves to make these kind of plans. They don't know how to go about that. They're definitely avoiding this person sexually. They're not taking any action with this person, or they don't want to. They don't want to give in to this person at all in an intimate sense. They are not seeing a future with this person. They don't see forever in their eyes. They know actions will be taken, but they're being watched. 9 of Pentacles in reverse. They are also watching their money, their bank account, and they're ready to grab and take what's theirs. This other individual may very well be dipping into that piggy bank to prevent them from being able to move. Hi, Jesus. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, and you're welcome. I didn't know my story was enjoyable. I can talk too much, Jesus. I share too much too, and I sometimes feel bad about that, but thank you for appreciating the story and sending me a little tip. I appreciate you. So anyways, they're watching their money. It's like, how much did you spend last week? It's like they're waiting for them to get paid so they can take it. The person that they're trying to leave wants them to leave groveling, broke, with nothing. This person's like, if you're going to leave, I'm going to take the money. You're not leaving and walking away with money. If you have money in savings, it's mine. You owe me. If you have money to put down on a new place, you owe me for the rent or the mortgage or this and that I've been paying. You're not walking away with money. If you leave, you're going to hurt. You're going to be homeless. You're going to be living with a friend. You're going to be broke. Basically, this person wants to take whatever money they have before they leave. That's the truth of it. Dang, guys. We might be dealing with a little crazy after all. And this person's like, I am not even, they're afraid to put their stick out because they might chop it off. There's no olive branch extension over here. It's like, I'm not even trying to make peace. Oh, no. I'm afraid of you. They have to reinvent themselves. They have a love offer to make someone else. Compromise. Oh, they're saying, can you give me a little time? I got to get rid of this crazy lady. Ooh, admired. Honey, this is that thin line between love and hate story. I mean, maybe not the killer part. I mean, you never really know. But in simple terms here for this story, we got a crazy person that doesn't want them to break up with them. And let me tell you, they're already aware that there's another woman or another man on the other side waiting. I'm telling you, it's just like thin line between love and hate. He had his high school sweetheart to go home to. He had a new girl, and she found out about it, and she was like, no. I mean, that movie took it deeper because he already broke up with her. This is the pre-breakup jitters. This is, I'm in the middle of it. This is, I just realized I love somebody else. I just realized who I want to give my cup to. I just realized that I have love for another person. High school sweetheart, someone from the past, someone that they've known a while, you know, someone that's worthy of them, you know. They just realized it. And they got to be a whole new person. They can't be this game playing fool that they've been with this other individual. They got to step it up. They got to step it up. They are really bothered terribly that they can't start this new life with this new woman or this new man. They are going through grief. Honey, they are depressed. They're not eating. They're having a hard time sleeping. They look stressed out all the time. They're just not well. They're not even having sex with anyone. They're just lonely, depressed, and just not happy because they can't leave the situation just yet. And they haven't even told this other person that they love them. Because Eight of Wands is in reverse. Once they break up completely, then they want to tell and confess their love. I kind of get the feeling this person is holding back because they don't want to like sick this other person on them. It's like if this other person realizes that they have feelings for someone else, they're going to go crazy. So it's like they're not even claiming it. They're not even saying, oh, I have a partner, I have somebody else, I'm leaving, you know, I'm cheating. They don't even want to admit to it because they know this other person is crazy. They're ready for that fresh start. They've learned a lot of lessons in this previous relationship with this Leo, pride and ego. They've learned about being with someone for clout, for money, for looks, for reputation, for bragging rights. They got with this other Leo individual just like Martin got with the pretty girl that was rich. All his friends were just like, yeah, smash that. Wow, you got her. You got her and no one else got her. You're good. You know, it's all for bragging rights. This other person may very well have money or property, but they're like, it's not even important anymore. I don't want to be with them. I don't care about their money. I don't care about the house. I don't care about their rich little family. I don't care. I have somebody else that's my friend, someone that I care about, someone that I know well that I want to be with. And they feel bad because they're asking. Maybe they're not even asking, but they're kind of expecting this other person to wait around for them without even having a confession of love yet. They're just looking around like, I hope they don't get with anybody. And they're like, I know it's a hard compromise to wait while I'm over here involved. But if you only knew, if you only understood what I'm trying to prevent, you would understand. I'm dealing with a really unhinged, crazy person. And I don't want that kind of fire and pressure going out towards you. And I already got to deal with it with me. I get the feeling this other individual has a white car, black tinted windows, and stalks this person, drives by their work to see if anybody else is visiting them. Has friends of this person's checking up, driving by, just to report to this person, did you see anything? Maybe even family members. I have a feeling this person has tabs. Anywhere this other person drives to, goes, they've got tabs on their phone. This person is terrified. They know they're being watched and stalked in the guise of, I just want to protect you and know that you're safe. It's a crazy world we live in. And it could be they've had some fights about cheating in the past. And it's, prove yourself to me. Prove to me that you're actually going to King Soopers. Prove to me that you're actually at Walmart. Prove to me you're at the gym, or you're at Shields, or you're, prove to me. Let me track your phone. Get on the same phone account with me, so that way I can get alerts on who you're texting. Let me have access. Let me be able to check your text messages if I ask to see your phone. Or let me just have little ding alerts when I know you're texting someone and who that could be. But honey, as much as this psycho person is stalking, driving by, they can't stop the inevitable. And that's the magician. Because let me tell you, this person is not a stupid person. He or she is not dumb. They are sneaky too. This person will hide a chat app in a folder in the back, inside another folder, in their cell phone. You won't find it. You know, you guys know, like Discord or Signal, something as unsus as you can get, something that looks like a business app or something you downloaded to keep tabs for business. Like, oh, this is for my work. This is a top, you know, Zoom email place that me and my boss, we communicate with. Something like that, you know? And they fooled them. This girl or this guy, it has been fooled by the magician. It's like alakadabra, boom. You don't know what's going on in the phone. And they may be deleting, you know, as soon as they text out, like Snapchat, gone 30 seconds later. You can't backtrack those conversations. Now, if the other person is keeping records, then you could. For all they know, that the person they're talking to is screenshotting, cha-ching, every time they text and send messages back and forth. That other person could have a mountain high of screenshots. They could have 10,000 screenshots of conversations between them, you know, but who knows? That other person may never know. Maybe they're just going to hold on to it for a rainy day. For a rainy day, in case someone asks, you know? And as far as trying to get away with tracking somebody's phone, you know, a lot of people think everyone's got to have their phone on them at all times. Not true. A lot of people have 2 phones nowadays. They do. They keep their old iPhone. They got a new iPhone. You know, they could put Cricket service on one, have signed up service on the other. They got 2 phones. You know, and even then they could just have a phone with no service, but easily connected to Wi-Fi. And you could get Wi-Fi at Starbucks, McDonald's, Barnes and Nobles, you know, most every store, every places, they all got Wi-Fi. So they could just be chat apping, you know, and if you think about like Discord, Snapchat, Signal, well, I know Signal and Discord, you can call. I know because I've used it for work. It's like Zoom or it's like Skype. You can make a phone call from a totally different number on these apps. And as long as you have your account, your number stays that way the same. You can call and text back and forth to whoever you want. So this day and age is that you can really track someone by their cell phone. Honey, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but you can't. Because if they let you track them, you should be worried that they have another phone. I mean, unless you really, really, really love them and trust them and, you know, you guys are good. But if you're sus and you know your man or woman has been a player before and you just saw them last week being fishy on social media or something, and then they're like, oh yeah, here, look at my phone. You should worry because you know your intuition is on point. And when something in your body senses another woman or another man, you sense their pheromones. You sense their body. You sense their spirit. You're touching into that Akashic record that you can't see, but you can feel it. So let me tell you, this person may try to track up that phone, but there is more than one way to sneak around today. Ooh, that's good. There is more than one way to sneak around today. And I'll tell you, they will leave that cell phone in the glove box of the car or the truck. They will park it and they will lock those doors and they will drive off with that girlfriend or that boyfriend or that friend, and they will go do them. And the person tracking is like, "Aw, they're just grocery shopping at King Soopers. They're just in Walmart getting some curtains, looking for some lunch meat for 2 hours. Oh, they're looking for some meat, but it's not lunch meat." Okay? So I'm going to tell you, I wouldn't be too worried about this person because they are a sneaky, sneaky player. They know how to play the game. They know how to keep secret rendezvous a secret. They know how to pretend like they care so much to convince the psycho it's all good in the hood. And they know how to keep the other person on the hook. I mean, it is what it is. That's what's in this reading. My clock just started chiming. That's a sign. Patricia, it's their lunchtime rendezvous. Yeah, it's their lunchtime rendezvous. But I'm telling you, and this other person is completely unaware, well, possibly unaware at all the dirty dealings that are going on behind closed doors. But I'm telling you, that person's well aware. But I'm telling you, there is some stalking. There is some stalking. Because that person is trying to get the information because their intuition is telling them something's off. And like I said, they're not able to make an offer to the new lover yet because they need time to get this person off their tail. They need time to lose this and have that divorce the right way. Sometimes the sneakiest way to get a divorce from someone is not acting interested in them at all. Not wanting to have sex with them, not wanting to talk with them, not wanting to go anywhere with them, embarrassing them in public. You know. There's this funny meme I always follow. And it could be tax season. People like tax returns. So they try to hang on to their girl or their guy through tax season. But you ever see those funny memes where you see that guy hanging on to some bigger girl who's not very pretty? And he's got his arms wrapped around her. It's a meme, guys. I'm not trying to be mean. It's a meme. And she's paying for Chick-fil-A or she's paying for the cell phone. And it's like, this is what happens when you know it's tax season. And this guy wants some of that cheese. Or this is how you know it's tax season. You're going to start seeing guys hanging on girls like this in public. Like, I love you, baby. I remember one time I went to McDonald's, I think it was, or Chick-fil-A or something. And I come in with my kids. And I'm paying for us. And we're going to go play at the little playground. I was young and cute. I was pretty. And this other guy who was a good-looking guy, you know, I would have dated him had I known he wasn't a loser. You know what I'm saying as far as attraction. I'm not saying his lifestyle was matching with mine. I'm just saying looks-wise. He was definitely a good-looking guy. And to describe it, he had his hands completely around her, wrapped around. And he had his hands in her two front pockets. And she had this very overlapping belly. And I thought it was offensive. I'm like, don't make a woman more insecure by hanging on to her fat, okay? Don't hang on to the pooch. That ain't right. We're already insecure about the pooch, and you're trying to hang on to it, you know? Give it a little grab, you know? That's messed up. Anyways, he was sitting there, his hands in her little pooch. You know, and she was about, I'm going to keep it real with you. She was about 250 pounds, maybe 300 pounds. And, you know, she wasn't tall. She wasn't a thick girl lengthening all that weight out. She was about 5'2". So she was short, Oompa Loompa style, and bigger, you know what I'm saying? And not wearing it well, not wearing it well at all. And this poor girl, I felt bad for her because I knew she was getting used. You know, here's this good-looking guy. Clearly he can pull pretty girls, and he's loving on this girl because she's paying for food and stuff. And I'm like, what a loser. What an absolute loser. And he looked at me embarrassed. Like, dang, this pretty girl just done caught me with this woman. Like, she would never give me a chance now. And I looked at him. This is all like telepathic conversation here. And I was like, you're damn sure right. I will never, ever talk to someone like you. You are a loser. Loser, user, abuser. Like, oh, heck no. And so he's looking at me. I'm looking at him like, that is just wrong. And I knew that he was taking advantage of her. And he looked at me and he knew I knew he was taking advantage of her. And I was just shaking my head. And you know what? It was tax season. I think it was like February, you know? And I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that story. But, you know, we got money here, Page of Pentacles. We got 3 of Wands, 3 weeks. Somebody might be expecting a tax return in 3 weeks. Might be expecting some cash back. It's maybe sometime in between 8 weeks. It's like Ace of Wands in reverse at any time, any week. This $3,000, $6,000, whatever dollar check may come in. I'm waiting for that. And I'm sitting here in this reading saying, listen, Linda, she's waiting for that too, because she's going to take it. Queen of Pentacles in reverse. She's going to take it. She's like, honey, I know you're sitting around waiting for that check, but I'm waiting for your check too. So they both have this, I'm going to take your money situation. Honestly, that's what I'm saying. I'm going to take your money. Now, who knows why and what the background is. We don't want to dog people out because they're out for money. Like, wow, they're a real low-life POS. You know, who knows? Perhaps this guy owes her $20,000. You know, perhaps she owes him $20,000. Who knows? We don't know the background on why someone's waiting around for some pay. And you know, those returns, they're important. And it's like, if I move and I change my address, I got to change my bank card. You know, you can't expect a check with all that change. I don't mean money change. I mean change as far as address, location. Your boss now has your address. The IRS has your address. You know, child support, whatever, has your address. Everyone's got your, you know, to change it. And everyone's got your bank account. Now you got to change your bank account. You know, that's not happening. So this person's like, listen, just compromise with me here. Give me some time. Buy me some time. I'm going to release this relationship. It's going to be over. It's in the upright. I am. But no wonder the world was in reverse earlier. It's like, it's not time. We got in divine timing. We got the world in reverse. It's like, we just can't. Trust me, I have a plan. But my money's not right. My money's just not right. You and I will be together. We're going to be happy. We have a future, the Star card. But I got to hold back on that right now, High Priestess. And maybe I got to pretend like I'm playing the field. This person may have to pretend that they're single, playing the field, not knowing anybody, not with anybody, not interested in this other girl or other guy, even though it breaks their heart. 5 of Cups, because they know who they actually love. Ace of Cups, Devil, they're stuck. 10 of Cups. They know who's they're happy. They just got to get away from this psycho. Dang. Wow, I'm just going to say someone's got to get away from this psycho. Well, I'm just going to put they. They got to get away. This may not be your story, guys. I hope it's not, but it's entertaining nonetheless. Let's see what else is going to be happening as they get away from this psycho, because they're smart. They're playing the game. They definitely are hiding. Magician, desire in reverse, hermit in reverse. They're definitely acting like they're doing no wrong, but they are. They definitely are. They don't have the courage. This is a heavy cross to carry, a heavy burden. That's what this is. They're looking for a shortcut. There's got to be a better way to get out of this situation. Right now, I got to play it the way I got to play it. I got to wear a mask. I got to fake it. Kitty. Oh, my little cat. My little cat. Yeah. My little sweet cat. You little baby. Anyways, they're like, yeah, this is the worst thing I've ever had to do to someone and myself, but so be it. What does this person want to say? Sometimes I feel like it's not possible for you to care as much as you say you do, like it's not real. And one day the truth will be revealed. So I'm just staying prepared. I think that's an omen. I think this is not how they feel. I think this is a statement about what's going on. This person's like, believe me, I do not love whom I'm with right now. It is impossible for me to care about them. They are a psycho, controlling, stalking, abusive partner. I do not have feelings for them. You don't have to worry about that. It's not real. My relationship with this person is fake. It's not real. I don't love them like that. I lie. I play it off. One day you're going to see the truth. Right now, I'm just staying prepared. Wearing that mask, playing the part, carrying that heavy burden. But watch, get yourself ready, because I'm coming. Get ready. I have so much passion building up for you. I'm going to explode. Yeah, this person's like, you have no idea how much I want to be with you and give this to you. I'm sorry if during this I've ever made you question your own worth, because you are incredible inside and out. I love my little kitten. Wow. This guy really loves this other person. Kitten wants to say hi. Go ahead, say hi. All right, we're going to get back off. I love you, cat. All right. Woo, crazy. We're almost done. I feel like watching a thin line between love and hate after this. I just want to read you this one little message about this cross, just so you know, because if there was an easier way to get out of this, they would. They're trying to find a way. They're wearing a mask right now. They're doing all they can to get out of this psycho's hair. They're playing it smart. Maybe they watched a thin line between love and hate, and they're playing it smart. The cross says, I am the bringer of grief. And look, this person is in grief. I am the bringer of grief, sadness, burdens, pain and suffering, and guilt. This is the area of my expertise. I claim weeping, tears, lamentations, and I ask for prayers and supplications. It's a symbol of a state of suffering. Wow. And, you know, They hate that they're in this the way they are, but they're going to get a fresh start. Listen, if you're with this person, they are playing it off. They really want to give you an offer and reinvent themselves. They're hoping that you can compromise and kind of wait a little bit while they figure this out. They're going to divorce and leave that other individual. It's a matter of time. Everything here is just a matter of time. Let's get a message for you, my friend. What's going to happen with the good person in this story? The woman with the rose. Could be a man. But the good person in this story and this other individual, are they ever going to be together? What's going to happen? So we have 2 of Swords, 5 of Swords stuck together. Ooh, King of Cups. Wheel of Fortune. Ooh, the Devil. Stuck on you. And I don't know all the words, but I'm on my way. What is that song, Markers? Got me stuck on you. I don't know the words, but it's like I heard, I'm on my way. Wow. That's what's happening. That's what's happening. Stuck on you. Aww. It makes me want to cry. Lionel Richie. Guys, I like this person. I mean, it's crazy, but I do. We've got 2 of Pentacles. I'm buying time. I'm juggling. I'm figuring it out. You're my twin. You're my person. I love you. 10 of Cups. I love you and only you. I want a family with you. I want to make babies with you. I want to get married and have a house with you. I want to adopt 100 puppies with you. Whatever it is. I just want to be happy with you, honey. And I'm sorry that I put you in this predicament, 2 of Swords. And I got to go back and forth like this. But trust me, it's because I love you. Trust me, it's because I screwed up even ever choosing this psycho in the first place. And I got to fix it. I got to fix this mess. I got to handle the devil. And I got to play the devil's games for a minute till I get this person out of my hair. I'm working on it. Ooh! I'm working on it. Okay? I am. You may think this is crazy. You may think this is a tower. And it is in a way, but it's not your tower, honey. You're not the one that's going to be in grief over this. This man or woman's going to give you the love of their life, the love of their heart. You may think this fight, this competition, this back and forth, this toxic psycho other party has a one-up. You may think you lost, but you didn't. Didn't. They've already made their decision who they love. And it's the twin flame. It's the girl with the rose. And they're going to be working very diligently on how to conquer this devil. They just need some time. Yep, they got the Knight of Swords again. They have a plan. How to salvage whatever money they can get from this relationship. They're not going to walk away with all their money, with all the goods that they had when they came in, but they're going to walk out with at least a decent amount. Okay, this person's like, I know I'm not going to be where I came in, but I'm going to be all right. They're like, I'm just trying to be all right, okay? I love you. I'm going to fight for you. You're the person I chose. Things are going to turn around for you and me. I'm sorry that I'm putting you through this. That's what they're saying to you. They're sorry they put you through this. They're sorry that you even have to deal with this psycho devil. They're sorry they ever had to bring this psycho devil into the picture at all. There is huge regret. Honey, in the distance between you and I have pleasured myself thinking about you and the intimate times that we've shared. You have no idea how beautiful you are. I do love you and I want to spend more time with you. Absolutely. You're the most beautiful soul I've ever known, and it blows my mind that you love me. I've screamed and had fits of rage over this connection. I know when you're upset with me, and believe me, it bothers me more than you know. Bottom of the deck, you're the best I've ever had. All right, you are the best they've ever had. Intimately, romantically, friendship-wise, everything. It's you. It's you, and it's always been you, twin flame. Wow. I don't think there's much left to say. All I can say is for the person that is the good girl in this story, or the good boy, like in the movie Thin Line Between Love and Hate, hang in there. You may have to fight for your man. You may have to fight for your woman. You may have to get some spiritual warfare. Break it out, honey. You may have to do some candle rituals. You may have to do some protection spells. You may have to do some cursing, some hexing, and some casting. Because she's crazy. Or he is. We got a psycho alert. And I'm just going to say, in a thin line between love and hate, his girl came to his rescue. He thought he could handle it all on his own. But that girl kidnapped him and tried to electrocute him in the bath. Tried to kill him in that movie. And she trapped him up in her house and she had her gun loaded and she was just going to kill him. She was like, you know what? She admitted she had killed someone before. The last guy that tried to hurt her, break her heart. And I felt bad for her because she didn't want to love anybody. She didn't want to be with him. He pursued her. She did teach him a lesson. She did. And I think we have lessons down here somewhere. I saw it under grief. Yep, lessons. This man or woman is going to learn a lesson. Don't play with fire. You're going to get burned. But in that movie, she was like, I didn't want this. You pursued me. You wanted me. And then you want to break my heart. I'm sick of you guys, you players, taking advantage of girls, breaking their hearts. You need to pay. Well, anyways, you'll have to go watch the movie. But his girl broke into her house with her friends. And she was like, where's my man? You're psycho. You need help. You know, she was going to save her man, you know, and she popped up in that house. She was getting shot at. The woman took her as a hostage for a moment. He was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. This is getting real. But she had to come in there and help her man because she loved him. And she was like, I don't know if he's going to get out of this alive or okay. He needs us. He needs his friends and he needs the real love of his life. He doesn't need this crazy woman, you know? So they figured that they were stronger together, you know, which they were. Now he got shot, but he lived. He learned a very valuable lesson that day. And he held on to a good woman. So I just want to say, once this psycho crazy situation is over, hopefully this person learns their lesson. And they hang on to you, that twin flame, that good woman, or that good man. They hang on. Because they don't want to end up in this mess with another psycho. Because this is, oh boy. I'm going to share one kind, you know, I never really experienced too much psychoness. I mean, I did share that one story with you about the guy in the military. That was kind of psycho with me. But that's not too bad of a story. But let me tell you. Someone that I was involved with and had very strong feelings for. I was trying to work things out at the time. He was trying to work things out with me. He was being a sneak and still talking to another girl behind my back I didn't know about. Anyways, I had no clue he was seeing anyone, had a number. I didn't even know this person. I accused him of seeing someone because I'm a freaking psychic. And believe it or not, your girl is that good. I ended up finding out who it was by some severe research that I did very quickly. I'm very proud of myself. I could research some crap in 10 minutes, guys, and get the truth. But anyways, I researched it. I found out later. But my intuition was telling me you're seeing someone, and it's not just an exchange of numbers. Like you're definitely seeing someone, because I felt her. I could feel something. Anyways, we were talking one day on the phone. He called me out of the blue in the middle of the day, which was kind of untypical or just unlike him. And he was like, are you screenshotting our conversations and sending it to someone? And I called him out and I said, what? You're calling me out of the blue, out of nowhere, asking me if I'm screenshotting and sending it to who? Who would I send this to? And I said, now you got me suspicious. And he's like, oh, no, it's just, I got someone threatening me. I have someone telling me that they know who I'm talking to. And like, he was keeping it very short. He didn't give a lot of info. And I said, that doesn't make any sense. And he's like, well, my friend's in some hot water, and the cops have been asking me some questions about my friend. And I've shared some information with you that only you know, and somehow my friend's concerned that that information got shared. And I'm like, what? First of all, I don't communicate with your friend. Okay? I don't even know what friend you're talking about, because you're not giving your friend a name. And I'm certainly not talking to any police. That's crazy. But I am concerned that you have another girlfriend that is aware that you and I are speaking, because she must be on your phone plan and able to look at your messages. And he was so dumb. He was like, they can't do that. Nobody can do that. I'm like, oh, people can do that. I know, because I've done it with my ex. I said, all you got to do is go to Sprint and say you want to print out of the phone numbers, text messaging on whichever phone number you want, between what date and what date. And they will straight up print you 10 pages, 20 pages, whatever, of the text messages from that number for that month. They could even shorten it down and say, do you want a printout of someone they've been texting back and forth with, a majority? Like, say if this person texted this other individual 300 times versus texted this other person twice. That's how I made the cut. How are you going to make the cut? That's the cut. So then you pick the person they're texting back and forth with the most. If it's you, yay, you don't have nothing to worry about. If it's not you, you got something to worry about. Anyways, I told him that. I was like, listen, you can definitely get information. So obviously you're being stupid and you're on the phone with somebody. And he's like, no, I'm definitely not on a phone plan with anybody else. That's not happening. That didn't happen. And I was like, that's funny, because when you and I got together, right away, you put me on your phone plan. So I kind of think that's your habit. I think you do that to a lot of girls. You sure you didn't do that? Because we're trying to work things out, you know. And he's like, no, I didn't do that. I didn't do that. And I'm like, okay, so why are you hounding me on what messages I have between you and I? And he said, well, there is someone that knows what you and I have been talking about. It's like they know what you and I have been talking about. And I said, it's either like or is it exact? He's like, well, it's not quoted, but it's definitely someone that knows what we've been talking about. Or they're acting like they're trying to get information out of me about you and me. And I'm at this point, I'm like, you have a girlfriend and you're lying to me. I said, are you seeing someone? You're lying to me? He's like, no, I'm not seeing anyone. I was seeing that one crazy girl, but we're not together anymore. And we're trying to work things out. And I'm like, okay, that's what I thought. But obviously, I'm not stupid. It's obvious. And you guys can all tell it's obvious. He's seen someone that knows information about us. And I said, if she doesn't have access to an app or the account to gain access to our messaging, then are you that stupid mother lover that slept with this person at the house? Did she stay the night at your house? He said, no, what? And I'm like, you messed around with someone. You obviously are sleeping with them at the house. And he goes, no, I'm not doing that. I said, okay, you can be in denial if you want, but let me put it to you like this. If none of the other stuff happened, then I'm going to tell you what happened. And I was right. And I still think I'm right. But I was like, let me tell you what you did, fool. You screwed this girl. You passed out. You have facial recognition on your phone. Actually, back then, take it back, scratch that. He didn't have facial recognition. He had the thumbprint. It was an Apple, iPhone 8 or something. I'm like, you have your thumbprint on your phone, dummy. So when you passed out, best believe she was awake, already sus about you, and put your thumb on the phone so she could open it up and see who you were messaging. And he straight up was like, no, she wouldn't do that. I'm like, oh, she? He's like, well, I did have my phone around that one crazy girl like a while ago, but she wouldn't have done nothing like that. I'm like, you're stupid. You're really stupid. And I was like, you better watch out for this one. Because if she's stalking like that, you have problems. And he's like, oh, she's just, she was just crazy about me. Just crazy. I'm like, yeah, well, whether someone's crazy about you or not, you got something to worry about. And let me tell you, I had to deal with that psycho girl more than one occasion, unfortunately. One time she pulled up on us. I don't know if she recognized me. We were kind of in a crowd of people, but she was looking for him and pulled up. Another time, she was driving by my house. Another time, me and her were talking on the phone, and she said that she GPS'd him. And that what I was saying was lies, that he wasn't seeing me. And I'm like, wow, this girl's freaking psycho, delusional. And I laughed, and I'm like, I know for a fact you're not GPSing him because he just left. So that's funny. And she was like, he's with me every night. I'm like, I know that's not facts because he's definitely not with you every night because he's been spending most nights over here. So I know that's not facts. You can try to lie to somebody else, but not me because I know where he's been. But I had to deal with this crazy girl. And she lied about saying they were married and having babies and like, oh, this lie. She's just crazy psycho liar. And I told him, I'm like, this woman has straight up lied to me about being married to you, having a child with you, carrying your last name. And it was all BS. And at the time I was like, you're not even legally divorced from your ex. You still have to legally get that finalized in the courthouse. And this wench is going to try to tell me, you guys are legal. I'm like, she must be losing. She's off her rocker. But I guess I'm just sharing that with you guys because, believe me, I have dealt with some serious psychos. I know what I'm talking about. And back in the day, I used to do some readings on stuff like that. And this is some of the psycho crap that would come up. Two-faced, conflict, arguing back and forth, playing it off like the magician, acting like nothing's going on, but it is. Just back here somewhere, That girl lied to him so much. And she was like, no, I never looked on your phone. I never would do that. No, I'm not GPSing you. I never said that. She was. Tell me how that girl popped up where we were at if she wasn't GPSing. And my boy still didn't know. He didn't believe, out of all the evidence, that he was being stalked like that. He was like, a box of rocks. Okay. Obviously, he was a box of rocks. And he's a pretty smart guy. But when it comes to that, he was just as dumb as a box of rocks. And I'm just like, you still believe? And I brought it up to him one day. I was like, do you still believe that I screenshotted our messages and freaking sent them to someone? Does that make sense to you? Someone that I don't even know, don't even have a number to, didn't even know the name at the time. Do you really think it's possible? I'm like, it was more believable for you in your brain to believe that I knew about this person but kept it a secret. Or it's more believable to you that this woman knew about me and we were like communicating. That was more believable to him, which was crazy because I wouldn't have been okay with it. Sure as heck wouldn't have been screwing him that night. That was more believable for him than to believe that this woman was actually in his phone. It was like he couldn't comprehend. Mind-blowing. Mind-blowing that this girl would actually go on his phone. Just mind-blowing. Anyways, box of rocks. But I just wanted to share that with you guys because that is hilarious. I don't know. I wanted to share with you some of my funny, hilarious stuff. If anybody knows about the games, believe me, I do. I know all about the games. And many, many years ago, before we had smartphones, believe me, I knew about the second phone. You guys have heard that story. Where my ex, my oldest kid's father, way back in the day, early 2000s, had a whole nother second phone hidden in a kitchen cabinet on the top shelf. Guys, tell me why I was psychic then and didn't even know it. Guys, I was so psychic. Really, like I knew it the whole time, but I never had proof. I never had evidence, never had the red-handed. And one time my spirit just led me. And I'm short, guys. And I'm looking in the kitchen. I'm like, I feel that the phone's in here. This should have been a funny meme or a movie. But it was real. I'm not lying about it. It's legit. It could have been in the laundry room, his car, the couch, the fireplace, the play closet, our closet, the bedroom, the bathroom, the kids' room. It could have been anywhere in that house. We even had a garage. It could have been anywhere in that garage. But tell me why my intuition said it's in the kitchen. It's in the kitchen. So I went into the kitchen. I felt it. I'm like, I know there's a pager or there's a phone up in this kitchen. Like there's got to be something in this kitchen. And tell me how I'm short. So I'm touching everything in the kitchen that I could reach. And then all of a sudden, I look up. And these cabinets are like freaking 6 feet, 7 feet, I don't know, but they're just up there. And there was, a gap between the top of the cabinets to the ceiling. Obviously, because builders do not know what's cute nowadays. Back then, God, why didn't they just put the cabinets all the way up and make it look nice? But whatever. We have these people back in these days. So the cabinet had a big gap between itself and the ceiling. And so I stand up on the counter because I'm, short. I'm so short that I had to get a chair to stand up on the counter, to then stand on the counter and look up there. I really was just going to check the top of the fridge. Well, I checked the top of the fridge and nothing's there. So I'm like, let me go ahead and put my hands higher and just start to feel on top of the cabinet. So I'm just like feeling, and then boom, I feel the phone. I'm like, aha. I snatched that phone up. Of course, he was smart enough to have a pin to get into the phone. He's just not going to leave a line around. He definitely had it powered off so it wouldn't ring. Okay. So I just hit the power button, held it in. I don't know, I can't talk today. Stupid Mercury retrograde. So I'm holding it in. It turns on, and it was T-Mobile or something. It was a crappy phone, but whatever. And then I'm like, oh, okay. It's It's charged. This has definitely been, it had like 4 bars. It was charged, just powered off. I'm looking at the pin. I made one guess. It didn't work. To this day, I don't remember what the pin was. But in that moment, my second try, I had the pin number. And no, it wasn't his birthday. And no, it wasn't our kids' birthdays. Or mine. It was something else. I don't know what it was, but it was, anyway, somehow I guessed it. It was just psychic stuff. And I pulled up on that phone, guys. There's about 20 girls in that phone. Maybe more. Maybe I just don't remember. There was probably a lot more numbers than actual conversations. But there was about 20 conversations in the text messages. And out of the 20 conversations with all girls, all sexual, intimate, likable, flirting, it was all that. There was about 4 that actually had exchanged addresses, photos, sexual naked photos, and had proof and evidence of meetups. So I'm not going to, you guys would love to hear those stories, but I'm not going to go in it, but I'm going to stop right there. And I'm just going to say, people did not have it easy in the old days trying to find out if someone was cheating. And even before cell phones were a thing, there was the address book and the pager. And honey, oh, Doja Cell, excuse me? Did I go crazy? Honey, that was one of the craziest fights we ever had. I almost died, okay? I almost died. I'm going to leave it to that, but we got physical. And I didn't attack him by no means. I might share with you a little bit of the tea since you guys have stuck it out this long. There's 22 of you that have been listening. Do you want to hear just a little bit more of the tea? You know, I feel like this is Mari Povich and you want to hear the tea. I'm going to tell you the tea. I'm going to tell you the tea. I took that phone and I went driving. I had my 2 youngest kids at the house with him asleep at the time. It was like 4 a.m. I go off driving with the phone and I call every single one of those girls. I call them. And I saw some pictures that he took of himself sleeping and, you know, smiling. And I texted back. I said, did you know that picture was after we had sex? Oh, did you know that this picture is one I took? Yeah, we're a family. We're married. We have kids. I don't know if you knew that. Most of the girls had no idea he was married with 2 kids. I would say like out of the 20 girls I texted, only 15 replied. And about 10 of them, maybe even 12 of them, did not know he had a family. And a lot of their responses were, I'm so sorry, I had no idea. I just met him, you know, a month ago or whatever. We've talked a few times. He's tried to hook up with me, but we hadn't. You know, a lot of the girls, it was just, we met at Walmart. This is how wonderful his game was. He would be going to Walmart to go get things for us at our home, and he'd be picking up girls. So a lot of them were like, we met at Walmart. I was just shopping over there, you know, and he came up and got my number, and we talked, and, you know, he called me right away after that. All of them knew his game because I knew his game, and all of them got called right away. All of them thought they were the moon and stars to him. All of them were just played. They're all played. I'm played. They're all played. We're all played. But that was most of them, and they were apologetic, and they were nice, and they're like, thanks for letting me know. Because they didn't want to be with some guy with 2 kids and a wife. Like, a lot of them were like, I'm not going to mess with that. A lot of these girls were young, and they could be with anybody. Why would they be with someone like that? But there was like 2 girls that knew about me and the kids, and they didn't care. They're like, I know about you. Both of them. They're like, I know about you. I know your schedule. I know where you work. I talk to him while he's at home with the kids, while you're working. He's only with you for the kids. And it's, you know, he's got plans to be with me. And he wants to have a baby with me. Like, these girls were really on one. I was like, wow, really? And they're like, I've talked to his mom. They're just saying, I mean, who knows if it was true or not true, whatever, but they were on one. And this one very disrespectful girl, she was, I'm just gonna give you an image. My man was 6'2", blue eyes, dark black curly hair, caramel skin, Puerto Rican from New York, okay? Beautiful lips, model face. He could have been in a GQ magazine. So there was my problem number one, okay? And they weren't nice like they are today on TikTok, looking all fine with their wife. Like, look at my kids, you know. Back in those days, trouble, okay? Anyways, that was my first problem. But let me tell you, his type was not what I'm about to express to you. I was very surprised. You guys know what I look like, pretty much. And I'm a curvy person. I'm a curvy person. And even back then when I was skinny, I still had a little bit of curves, you know. But, you know, brown hair, brown eyes. I've got caramel skin too, maybe a little darker than him. Actually, I'm a little more brown. And his type. The way I looked back in the day, I really wanted to look like Ciara. So I like fashioned myself like that. My hair, I was looking cute, okay? I was looking real cute. Anyways, I know I was cute. But anyways, this girl that claims they were together and gonna have everything in this world, let me tell you. This little hooker, and I'm gonna say hooker because she looked like one, was missing a tooth. So I know she'd been on meth, crack, who knows what. Homegirl was missing a tooth. I didn't have a tattoo on my body. I still want tattoos, nothing against tattoos, but just to give you an image, she had cursive writing all over her neck, her freaking forehead, her freaking hands, her knuckles, everywhere. She probably had the tramp stamp too. I'm just giving you an image. And nothing against beautiful European people. I love European people. But, you know, she was very white, and nothing against that because my sister-in-law is the snow from the Alps. She's Scottish. I've got nothing against people, so please don't judge me on that. But she was very, very pale, very, very white, blue eyes, blonde hair, but not pretty blonde hair like today, where they go to the actual salon and do it right. I'm talking yellow, box dye kind of blonde, okay? Just yellow. And I hate to say this term, but I'm going to say it, very trailer trash. Very trailer trash. She was very skinny, probably because she might have been on drugs. She was probably about 100 pounds. Now, my man likes breasts in a woman. She did not have any. Okay? And I mean, she didn't even fill an A cup. She just didn't have any. And was I sure she was a woman? Yes. Because I saw this woman's body in complete splendor. She decided to send my man a picture of herself completely in the nude with all her tats, with her God-given glory hole open for the world to see. Well, for him. And that's what I saw. That's what I got to see. And to give you that image, back in those days, they didn't have, you know, the phone props and backwards cameras that we have today. It was just one forward camera. It wasn't, I don't know, it was hard to explain. She had propped up her phone against the wall to take the picture of her, probably on a timer. She was on this dirty carpet, and she had her knees up like she was giving birth to a child, okay, and spread in her glory hole. And that's how I knew, because I saw her chest. She didn't have any breasts. And y'all know. And she wrote in the text message in this very disgusting picture, "You can put it in any hole you want to put it in. It's all yours, all of them. Just come to my house when she goes to work and you can have it all day. This is the text I saw. Still makes my stomach curl. I felt like throwing up. And then his response to it was, you know I can't leave the house. I got to watch the kids all day. Now, if he really wanted to go screw her all day because he was so attracted, let me tell you, my grandma lived down the street and she didn't work. He could have said, Grandma, can you watch the kids? I got to go do a job interview or I got to go meet up with somebody. He could have got a sitter while I was at work anytime. He didn't want to meet up with that skank. He didn't want to meet up. He didn't want to screw that skank. Maybe he did one night and they were texting back and forth and she got obsessed on him. My opinion is, because I knew my man at the time, he probably was on some shit. Ooh, I said it. He was on some stuff. And, you know, he had a wild night, drunk, didn't know what hole he was putting something in, and it was her. And she probably called herself from his phone to make sure she got his number and just kept texting, and who knows. But I think he tried to shoo her away by saying, I have a wife and kids. This shouldn't have happened. I mean, now that I'm grown, I could definitely see where he might have said, listen, I made a mistake. I'm married. I've got kids. You need to, you know, back up. And she wouldn't back up. Now, she was so desperate that she would send him glory hole pictures like this, like just to lure him in, like, come on, you know, let me just catch you on that wild moment where you really want it. But I'm going to tell you guys, that was some stuff. But I'm going to tell you the tea. When I went and called all of these girls, I wanted to ruin all the game he had with any one of them. Now, some of those girls were pretty. She was just a weird one. Some of those girls were pretty. And I was intimidated. I mean, some of them were pretty. They didn't have any kids. They were a couple years younger than me. You know, at the time, I was like 24. So some of these girls were like 19, 18, cute, you know. But did it get crazy? It got crazy. It got real crazy. And after I spent a good 2 hours of my morning ruining any possible connection he could have had with any one of those girls. Because I said things like, you're never going to get rid of me. I'm his baby's mom. He's been doing this with me. We're always going to be doing this. And, you know, I was saying whatever I could just to shoo away any girls of any thought that they could have a future or happiness with him. You know, a lot of these girls didn't even know he had kids. So that shooed away their happiness in the first place. But let me tell you, these little hookers, they don't care. They don't care if you have 10 kids. They'll still go after it, and they'll try to make another one too. Believe it. I know, because I've seen it. I've had to deal with these wenches. I know. I know the trash that is out there. And these fellas need to be scared. They need to be scared because these women are out for money. These women are out to trap them with babies. These women are out here just to stir up trouble because they have no life. These women are out here just because they have daddy needs and they just want it and they'll die for it. These women out there can be crazy. Some real crazy ones, you know? And when I got back home, actually, he had called me. It was like 6 a.m. He goes, where have you been? I just woke up and you're not here. And I was like, yeah, you're not here. Or I'm not there. You're darn right I'm not there because I'm out calling all of your BITCHs. And he was like, what? And I'm like, yeah, I found your little phone. I found it. And believe me, I used it. And he's like, what? What are you talking about? Come home. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to come home because I don't trust you. You're going to while out. I'm not coming home like that. I'm like, just so you know, I called every single one of them. So don't even try lying. Because he was like, there's no girls. I'm not talking to no one. He tried to play it off. There was no one. They're lying. Are you going to believe them over me? I've heard it. It was like, they're lying. They just want to ruin what we have. A lot of these girls are just buying what I got to sell. You know what I'm saying? They're just buying what I got to sell. And I'm like, really? Because it's funny how all your clients are supposedly women. Why do you not sell any of your merchandise to the fellas? Why are all these people got to be women? Don't give me that it's your work. Don't tell me that. You know, and it was just a mess, guys. And when I came back, He yanked me out of that car. Well, he tricked me. He said, roll down the window. And I'm like, I'm not rolling down the window. He's like, just roll down the window so I could talk to you. I was stupid. I rolled it down just about this much. He knew more about cars than I did. And it was an older car, you know, in the 90s, you know what I'm saying? And so he pushed that window down all the way. I didn't even know you could do that. I thought if you have window buttons, it just goes up and down based on the window and you can't force it down. I had no idea that you could force a car window down all the way. Like, I had no idea. He knew that. He freaking knew it. I don't know how he knew, but he knew. He forced it down enough to where he reached in and unlocked the door. And then once he unlocked the door, he grabbed me by my arm, angry, snatched that phone out of my hand. He was livid. He was stressed out. Obviously, he was upset because he knew the tea had been spilled. He knew his reputation was destroyed with every single girl he ever tried to contact besides me. On top of that, because he really just wanted to be a player and keep me and fool around. That's just what it was. That's just what it was. So on top of that, he knew he screwed it up with me. So now we're not going to be close. We're not going to have this good relationship. So he is stressing. He is like, my life is over. This is what I'm saying with this reading today. You don't know how you're going to rub someone the wrong way to where they have nothing to lose, or they're really going to lose their crap because they're losing it all. And that is a concern nowadays, even still. When you go through these kind of breakups, be careful. You don't want to set someone off the wrong way in a breakup. That could be very dangerous. And that was the last fight we ever had like that, I can guarantee you, because we had been having some violent situations before, a little, you know, DV. But when I had babies, I wasn't going to put up with that. Now, I was with this man for years before we ever had children. So I would say we were together about 4 years before babies. But then this happened, and now I had babies. Now I had 2 babies upstairs, 3 and 4 years old at the time. And I was like, I'm not gonna live my life like this. And when he grabbed the phone from me, he smashed the phone on the floor, so I knew he didn't even give an F about that phone anymore. He's like, he was angry, smashed it on the floor. He's like, you see, I don't even give an F about those people or that. He said, but what I do care about is the fact that you're snooping around. You don't trust. He started blaming it on me. You always accuse me of cheating, so now I cheat. Because why not? Because all you do is accuse me of cheating. So he had that little card to pull from. And then he's like, you're never happy with me. You always complain. We're never happy. I can't even go to the corner store. I can't go to the freaking gas station. I can't go nowhere without a problem, without a fight, because you're always complaining. Obviously, I knew something wasn't right. I'm going to be complaining. But anyways, it is what it is. So he gave me a line of excuses. And he's like, on top of that, they're all lying. Whatever. He pulled that card. Then he threw me the you're insecure card. He threw the you're the psycho card. You're the psycho one because you're up late at night, creeping, finding my phone, going through it, driving away, calling these people. You're the psycho. So he pulled that card. And so I'm sitting here looking at him pulling facts like you're just mad because you got caught. Because you were happy with me last night. You're just mad because you got caught. And I said, you can get your SHIT out. You can leave. You can go. You didn't help me pay for this place. You're in and out as it is. Go. Go back to one of these people. See if one of them have some space for you. Go back to your mom, whatever you need to go do, but go. That was the wrong word to say. He said he's not going anywhere, that I'm his wife, that's his home, and that's his family. And he's not going to let me destroy it. So he pulled that reverse one on me. And he said, do you want to be responsible for destroying our family? And he tried to pull that one on me. Long story short, we fought. I was crying. I was angry. He was grabbing me, shaking me. I think I slapped him. I'm telling him terrible things about himself, terrible things. He's telling me terrible things. It gets to the point where we're spewing absolute venom at each other. At this point, he loses it. He blacks out most likely, and he wows out on me and, ends up kicking me in my stomach. I'm falling to the kitchen floor. I'm getting body slammed. At the time I was about 120 pounds. He wasn't that heavyweight, but he was 6'2", and he was about 182 pounds, 85, something around there. Decent. And, body slamming me was easy, and I wasn't strong. I wasn't a strong person. So I'm getting body slammed and kicked in the stomach multiple times. The wind's getting knocked out of me. He got on top of me. He got my head, and he was like, "I love you so much, but you're making me crazy." And in the midst of that, my head is getting banged onto the floor multiple times. So my head's hurting. Probably have a concussion. And then I'm crying, and I'm just like, "Just go, do whatever you want. I don't care. If you want to stay, stay. Just get off me." Like, I'm scared for my life at this point. And then he drags me to the couch. He realizes our relationship's completely destroyed. I'm sure that's why he's losing it. And he ends up strangling me. So he's got his big long hands wrapped around my neck, and I've got my hands on his hands, like his wrists, like that's going to do something. Ladies, that's not going to do anything. There's no way that my hands could pull off his hands from my neck. We want to talk about equality. A woman's never been body slammed by a guy. And all these feminist psychos that think it's all equal, you've never been handled like that. Don't talk to me about equality. Just save it. Anyways, so I'm blacking out, and I can't catch my breath. And I think to myself in that moment, I'm going to die. I'm going to die for what? I'm going to leave my kids on this earth for what? For fighting over cheating? Over a guy? I don't care if that is my kid's father or not. I'm going to lose my life over something petty and stupid like this. And then I thought in my mind, how's my family going to find me? My grandma, my grandpa, my mom, my dad, how are they going to find me? Dead in the house, choked. What's going to happen to my kids? Is he going to take them in the car and go to New York and run away with them? Is another psycho, whore, wench, prostitute-looking woman going to raise my kids? Better yet, is some ghetto trash, hood rat, going to be cussing and raising my kids? So I'm thinking all these crazy thoughts in my mind. And I'm trying to spit out, please stop. And my face is red. I can't, So he gets his hands off me just in time to where I can gasp for some air. And then he starts hitting my forehead, like with this part of your palm, like that on your forehead. And he's like, "You're so dumb. Look what you made me do. Look what you made me do." So it was my fault again. That's what I had to deal with. It's terrible. And I guess I'm just sharing you guys some of the tea. This is many, 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 many years ago, decades ago that this happened. But I'm going to tell you, did I learn my lesson back then to not stir the pot? You're dang right. I learned my lesson not to stir the pot, mostly because it's not worth it. Not because I'm scared I'm going to lose my life, because believe me, that was part of it. There was a piece of me that was scared I was going to lose my life. But the other piece was my family. And what I was going through in the scope of things, not a big enough deal to go grab his phone and go through it and get proof and evidence. Because let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the day, when you do get that evidence and you have proof and you caught them red-handed, it doesn't matter. I'm being honest with you, and maybe I'm speaking to a young person out there that's listening, or maybe I'm speaking to a bunch of old people that you already know. But either way, this message is going to come out to someone maybe that could help. I'm sharing my story. And let me tell you, it's not worth it, because it doesn't matter what kind of evidence you have. It's going to be your fault. And then B, it doesn't matter, because what does it change? You're either going to choose to stay because they claim all that they claim, or you're going to go. But the evidence never really changes their defense. Most people don't just say, oh, well, you caught me, I'll leave in peace. Because most people that cheat don't cheat because they're not happy at home and they want to go be with somebody else. Most people cheat just because it's fun. Just because that's exciting and it's something to do. And it makes them feel some type of way about themselves. And let me tell you, most people do not want to lose the life that they have when they're caught. It's just the truth. They're not looking to leave you. They're not. And that's probably the honest truth, which is for most people in our world today that get cheated on. These men, and a lot of these women, they're not trying to get rid of you. Now, there are some that obviously, Lifetime Movie Network stories, that want to move out and go be with another person, you know, Scott Peterson, for example. But most of the time, it's not like that. And I guess I just want to say, it doesn't matter what evidence you have. If you feel like someone is unfaithful to you, and you can sense another man or another woman on your person, in my opinion, it's time to go. It's time to go. What are you waiting for? Proof, red flags, evidence? It doesn't matter, because it's tainted and the relationship's not going to be the same. Some people, maybe 1 out of freaking 10,000 people of being cheated on, will have that one remorseful spouse that they did it that one time. They're sorry, made a huge mistake. It really wasn't your fault. It was theirs. They fell into it, and they want to fix it. And they want to go to counseling, and they want to make life better, and they're ready to move to a new state, and they're ready to give you their phone and their livelihood and whatever. 1 in those 10,000 people is willing to fix it. And I think those people are worth it, because they learned a very hard lesson about what they value and who they are. Some of those people, believe me, they're worth keeping. And if you can work it out with someone like that, work it out. But if someone is not really remorseful, if they're really not sorry, and they just keep doing it, you know it, you feel it, it's been going on for years, why are you still there? Anyways, I don't know. I just wanted to share that story with you guys, I guess. Broken trust can heal, but it will always have that doubt. I have, for my kids, for example, we've had some serious trust broken, and I've regained that trust. But then if something happens, I have that card that I pull out that's like, what if you lied to me before? It taints the relationship. I have trust, but it's not the ultimate trust. And if you take someone back in an intimate relationship, you can probably get your trust back as far as, hey, honey, I'm just going to Walmart. And they actually are just at Walmart. And you could regain all this trust where they're being good, they're going to and from work, you're having dates, life is good. Like, trust is built up. But I can promise you, if they're missing one day, or if they get home late that one day, out of all the good ones you've rebuilt, you're going to automatically go to that freaking playbook. I don't know if I can trust you. I think you've been cheating. And it could be something totally different, like they had a flat tire. But you're going to go to that playbook. So people really have to decide, do I want to stay in this relationship after infidelity? You know, if it's worth it, it's worth it. Especially if you have kids, it's worth it. Because they get to have mom and dad home. There's dinners, memories, Disney World trips, school, events, daddy-daughter dance. You know, if you can make it work, it's great for the kids. And it's even great for you because you guys get to grow and work through life together. A lot of people can make it work. If you have no children to bind you, none, and you're just hanging on to this man or woman because maybe it's because you feel some type of way about yourself, you're hanging on to them. They make you feel a certain kind of way. You need to really think about that. Because there's, in my opinion, there's got to be a good reason to stick it out with someone, to work it out. You got to have that commitment because you're legally married and you've committed to one another and they're worth it, and they you know, it's just a little problem, it's not a huge one. Or you got kids. And even the people that are married, say they're married for 3, 4, 5 years, 10 years, and their spouse cheats, but they don't have any children. That's a very lonely couple anyways, but there is no reason to stay. There's no reason. Yeah, you took some vows and you want to make it work, but if they have a habitual pattern for years, there's no reason. If it's just one time, you might be able to save that marriage with no kids. But if you're married to someone and it's been 10 times, 20 times, full-fledged relationships with others, be gone. Just be gone. But again, it all depends on cultural background. It does to an extent. You know, I do get that. There are people that have, it's okay to cheat, you know. I can understand how that is very difficult. I mean, and it all comes down to this, Doja. You know who suffers if it's cultural? Now it's going to get sexist. You know who suffers in cultural arrangements like that? The women. The women will always get the short end of the stick. There's not one culture where a woman can have multiple husbands. There's not one. It's always the women that suffer. They got to deal with infidelity. They got to deal with abuse. They got to deal with disrespect, shame, embarrassment. It's terrible. And I am so glad I'm not born into those cultures. I would not want them. I would not want them at all. Anyways. Now, there was someone that did have a really good opinion on multiple wives, and I saw it, and I believe it was in Africa. And that was a good-looking man, too. I don't know if I wouldn't mind sharing him. He was a fine-looking man. Built, I can say. Very built. Anyways, a man came up from that culture and said, you know why men in Africa would take on, and we're not talking about the pedophile weirdos, I'm marrying this 10-year-old. I'm going to marry the 11-year-old, and I'm going to marry the 8-year-old. Not those sick weirdos. But I mean, men that married women. And he said, you know, why we came up with that in this culture is at the time, there was a lot more women than men. And it was because back in those days, a lot of these men would get killed by lions and who knows what when they would be hunting and gathering food. And so a lot of men really didn't have a big chance of survival, to be honest. And so they would have one man, you know, with 3, 4, 5 women because these women were being left behind. They didn't have a man to help them, to take care of them, to feed them, to hunt for them. If there was only one man to one woman in those cultures, a lot of the women would starve. They would die, and they wouldn't have children, and they wouldn't have a life. They wouldn't have a home. They wouldn't have any of that. So he did say, you know, in the African culture back a long time ago in those days when they had that, it was simply because of that. And a man would take on 3 or 4 wives, you know, to kind of help the village, to help those women to have a life and a home and to have children, of course, for those women. And you think about it, women were very cherished and probably still are to this day. In Africa, women were very, look at Oshun and all that. Women were cherished. And a woman needs children, in my opinion. It's such a fulfilling sense of womanhood. And I feel bad for women that cannot bear children, but there's still adoption. But to love and nurture a child is so fulfilling of the soul. And I know not every woman's built like that, but 99.9% of them are, okay? But to have children is such a joy. It's a joy in our life. It is the pearls and gemstones of our hearts. And to deny a woman that would be terrible. And so I can see how in those cultures, blessing those women with a good husband and to have those babies was just such a blessing. And, you know, the women would be friends with one another. And I would see some videos of some of these women, and they were laughing and having a good time. And I'm not talking about the Americanized sister wives BS. That is complete. There's no words. I do not support that crap. But this particular culture, and from what I looked back on, it was very nice. And these women were friends, and they were beautiful, and they were caring for one another. There was a clip of one woman massaging the other woman's back while she was breastfeeding one child, because she knew how painful that can be. And she was cooking dinner, you know, while the one was feeding one, and, you know, helping dress the kids, wash them, bathe them. And the other woman was doing their part and building the fire and cooking. And it was a very nice communal kind of thing. And I could see how in those days, and times have changed. So fellas, don't take this to the bank and think it needs to be like that. No one's dying because of lions anymore, okay? We have guns. So please don't pull that BS. We're dying from lions, okay? Because there's plenty more men to go around nowadays. But, you know, it was just, I could see. And he was very good looking. And I'm like, I could see how these girls are like, listen, there's only one of them. You know, let's get along, because I want a life, you want a life. And I can be your friend and you can be my friend. And I'm not saying they did anything to each other. It wasn't even like that. It was just, I'm a woman fully feeling blessed and taken care of, and you're a woman fully feeling blessed. And let's both be grateful that this man has what he has to give us what he needs to give us. Because that man was a man, and I'm going to tell you, and just by looking at him, I know it. He fulfilled every duty to his wives. He fulfilled every duty. And it was okay. Because I can tell you, those women were happy. They were happy. They were well pleased. They were well provided for. And a very good looking man. He was sweet and kind and equal to both of them. And he was a good man. He was good to his children. It was showing them how to hunt. And he was a good person. It wasn't that I'm going to slack on one wife and go give all to the other. That would be nonsense and BS, and they'd kill each other over that. It was very equal. So I'm saying there are, you know, instances in cultures where I could see it's acceptable. But in a lot of other cultures where it's just mistreat one and dote on the other, that's not fair. And to not take care of your spouse, Doja, and I mean not give her her needs, her foot rubs, her love, her protection, her providing, her friendship, her companionship, to deny a spouse that is wrong. And to go fulfill it to the new one and then just let the other spouse cook and clean and watch in sadness, no happiness in their life, that ain't right. But I guess that's another talk for another day. But I don't know how you guys feel about that. Anyways, I'm done with this little chat. It's been 159 minutes. It's getting dark. Doja, no, they took care of all the children and wives equally, period. Well, that's good. That's good, especially if everyone's happy, you know? Like I said, there's exceptions if everyone's fulfilled. You know, I think there's a bad exception when, like I said, the other person's denied access, denied love, denied companionship. That's no, then it's not okay. But I can say as a woman, if you take care of the needs, I don't think there's any problems. But here's another kicker, and you guys might like this one. That is if a woman is fully not into the man. I'm going to be pretty sure about this. If a woman contractually agrees to something multi like that, it's because she hasn't given him her heart. Now we're going to keep it 100, right, ladies? We're going to keep it 100. She will reserve that piece. She will not share it. She will share her body. She will share her friendship. She will give some time. She will do acts of service like a concubine. But she will not give him that heart, because women do not get into multi-situations like that with their heart, because that is when jealousy comes into play. That is when you just want that person all to yourself and know that they're fully into you and no one else. That is that love marriage. See, there's contractual marriage and there's a love marriage. And I'm going to tell you, those multi-situations is not a love marriage. It's just not. So, you know, if the guy's okay with being used, basically, as a commodity, as a need, as a provider, as a tool, then I guess he's happy. But if he wants to die knowing that there's another soul on this planet that lives and breathes with his every breath and worships the ground he walks on and cherishes every smell from his body and every touch of his hands, if he wants to be fully treated like God status by a woman, he's never going to get it in that situation. Because I can tell you, sex on a contractual level versus sex on a soul level, wild. Two different things. And the kind of climax orgasmic pleasure you can reach with love and intimacy can blow the mind versus the physical intimacy that you can get just by being physical. So, you know, like I said, I guess it depends on who wants what, but there we go. There's my opinion. There we have it. There we have it. All right, so who do I have here that is part of the 100 Club? Well, let me check my notes to see how many questions you got, because I'd be keeping tabs. But let me check. Because I, for a while, was not keeping tabs. All right. Get my... Thank you guys for letting me chat and sticking it out and listening to all this. Was it interesting? Did you like that kind of a video, or was it like a nay? Let me know the truth, guys, because I know, you know, I need advice on the kind of videos you like, because you guys are the viewers. If you don't like it when I go off on rants and chats, and where the heck is my pen? If you don't like that, please let me know so I don't do that. Where the heck? Well, you guys know I've been clicking that pen, and it just disappeared on me just now. All of a sudden. All of a sudden. Okay, whatever. We're just going to go with it. Just going to go with it. Oh, Marcus, you liked it? Rachel Aldridge, you liked it. Okay. And bye, Rachel. Good. Well, I'm glad some of you guys liked it. I know it's probably not everyone's cup of tea, but it's kind of nice for us to chat. I'm your girl. I mean, we're humans. Can't we have conversations? Does everything have to be tarot? I like to conversate with you guys. You guys know a little bit more about me and my stories, even though some of them are decades old. Okay. Doja girl, you are on your last two. I'm going to keep it real. You're on your last 2, girl. And I want you to stay on this thing, but I'm just letting you know. I want you to keep being part of the 100 Club, but I'm just letting you know. Sunval, you've got, let's see, 4 left. Diana, you've got 6. Aaron, you've got 2 left. Max, you got 4. I gave you some bonus because you've been waiting a while for your cards. Katrine, you have 7. Leo's son, you have 8. Amy, you have 8. Sag Madge, I haven't seen her in a while, but she has 5. And Perfect Storm, I don't know if you've changed your name. I haven't seen you in a while, but you've got 6. So anyways, I wanted you guys to keep tabs on the numbers where you're at, what you got going on for your readings. But if you are here today, let's go ahead. If you want some questions answered, I can do 1 to 2 questions and we'll get them answered. Okay? So, and if I missed anyone, if anyone recently bought the $122 subscription and you know you're part of the 100 Club and maybe I've missed your name because you're new, just let me know in the comments. I'll get you next time. I want everyone who's still here to know that if you do subscribe to my monthlies, you get all this for free. Like, it's included. So if you can spare that on yourself, that would be awesome. Okay? If you can spend $25 a week on yourself, that's awesome. Personally, I spend $25 easy. It's very hard not to do a week. But $25 is what? 3 coffees a week? 3 teas? Maybe even just 2 boba teas, because you know those things be like $9 and something cents for 1 drink. So, you know, I'm not increasing my numbers. I'm not increasing my prices like everyone else that's inflated. Keeping it the same. If you can spend $25 a week on yourself, then you got all these readings for free. That's quite the deal. It is. Anyways, Doja, did you have a question or 2 that you want answered? Diane joined. I do have Diane. I set her on the list. Yes, she's in there. You'll do 1 today? Okay. All right. So, Doja, what is your question? Let's see. In the 100 Club, in case you guys are wondering, it is a club for 20 people. Maybe a little more depending, but I keep it around 20 people. And you get to have 10 questions over the course of any amount of time you want. You can use 1 a month. You can use 2 a month. You can use 1 every 3 months, whenever you want to tune in. But you get your questions answered, and it is an unlimited amount of cards. I just pull cards to see what comes out to answer your question. Okay? So I'm not making you pay per card. It's just per question. It's half off. Normally my questions are about $15 to $22 a piece. Most of my questions are $15 a card plus a bonus. And when I do my random 1 question multi-card readings, which is once in a blue, they're $22 a question. And that would be through a Celtic Cross, more than likely, or sometimes just random and just pull all kinds of cards. But that is the 100 Club. It means you spend $100 if you're not in the subscription. You could get the 100 Club separately. You don't have to subscribe. But you can just pay $100 and it puts those 10 questions in the vault. So anytime I do a 100 club reading, you can get your question answered with multiple cards. Okay, you just get to have a full reading. And I try to do that once a month, 100 club readings. So you can purchase that all by itself and just keep it for years, whatever, however long you want to get readings with my channel. Or my special now is it's free. It's included in the $122 subscription on my website. And I give you lots of readings for free with that. So you get the 100 Club for free. You get the Celtic Cross $22 reading for free. You get the 1111 Oracle card for free with the bonus bottom. And you get the $44 end of the month reading for free. So that's a lot of free readings. Plus 1 free card a month and 50% off of an urgent emergency reading. And 15% off of anything in my store. So yeah, $122 a month subscription is a great deal for yourself. Saves you hundreds of dollars. It's an investment, I think, better than boba. Why don't you just go to freaking Amazon and order the boba yourself? I got bobas in my cupboard. I got Thai tea. I got milk tea. I got bobas. Save yourself the $25 a week on drinks and just make it at home and have one every day. And get a bunch of free readings from Steph. It's better than boba. Anyways, if you know how to budget, you know how to budget. All right, hope you're grown enough to budget. All right, Doja, let me see your question. What is my spiritual journey for 2024? All right, let's get into it. Good question, Doja. I like that question. Ooh, and the clock just stroke. All in divine timing. So what is your spiritual journey? And also, whenever I do readings, you guys always get the bottom of the decks. It's always a free bonus. Yeah, it is something different. All right. Bottom of the deck here is Page of Wands. And down here is At Day's Rest. I find peace in nature and rest my body and my mind and my spirit in order to connect to spirit. She's sleeping around with 3 cats, by the way. Doja, it's definitely your spiritual journey this year to get a cat or to connect with the cat spirit. A spirit animal for 2024 would be the cat, which, by the way, has a lot to do with Rahu. So if I were you, I would look at where Rahu is in your chart. It's going to tell you a lot about what you need to do. By the way, Rahu is in the sign of Pisces right now. So not only look at where Rahu is in your chart, but look where he's transiting. So you'll have him in your chart at birth, but then you're going to look at your Pisces house and know that he's there too, because those two things combined is going to really talk about what you're going to be doing this year spiritually. Bottom of the deck is need. Overall, underall. D1. So I see a definite pattern forming here, Doja. Lack, despair, certainty, fearfulness, worry, lack. Okay. There's this money situation for sure that's coming up, which there's some confusion about. And even if it's not about actual money, it is asking, what lacks inside of you? What is missing in you? Rahu in the first house. In your birth chart? Yeah. Anuhara. That's not a nakshatra, girl. Ardra? Is it Ardra? Maybe I'm... No. So we have this prosperity and intention. Now I'm going to touch about money and your physical body here. You are multiplying money. You are calling in money and prosperity and desire. That's what you want. You want to be abundant, and you want to be beautiful, and you want to be healthy, and you want to feel good about life. But then once you call this in, you don't see what's in front of you, right? You're not getting the results. Okay? And that's the stressor. It's where's the proof? Where's the evidence? I'm getting healthy, but I'm not seeing the changes. I'm calling in money, but where is it at? And so faith is coming into play here. And we have Page of Wands and then at day's rest, which is call it in, wave your wand, and then sit down and wait and relax and have trust and faith that it's coming in. Believing that it's coming in. We have down here, celebrate life. I celebrate every day by honoring and respecting all life on Mother Earth. So this is all about being in the moment. There seems to be some Virgo vibes here, which is worrying. Oh, thank you. Yeah, there you go. Anuradha. Okay. That's very helpful. So here you are thinking, am I making the right choice? Did I wish for the right thing? Am I calling in the right thing? And, you know, in a nutshell, this is second guessing yourself. Which is a lack of faith in you and a lack of faith in spirit. Because spirit says you are being guided. And one of the biggest broken cycles that need to happen this year in your life is faith. You have to conquer your belief system that you're going to have to second guess everything you ask for, and second guess if it's really coming in because you don't see results when you think you should be seeing results. And I honestly feel like faith is the biggest message for you in this spiritual journey. And you have to set it with all of your intentions and believe it. And the best way to do that is to get in nature and have an attitude of gratitude. You need to connect with nature. And I think that's why she's here under the tree. And then she's over here with Mother Earth. Being in nature definitely sets us up for this beautiful connection. And it's no light thing. And I know we think about it like nature's so obvious. Everyone connects in nature, but it's really a big deal. How often do people really get deep into nature? How often do people want to feel the heartbeat of Mother Earth? How many people really take off their shoes and go barefoot into the forest or into the rivers and the creeks and the lakes and into the grasses and the valleys, even the rocky or pebbly paths? How many people really get grounded into nature? And how many people really sit down under that tree and relax on it, lay against that tree, put their hands on that tree, meditate under it, and ask the tree for wisdom? One of the biggest wonderful pieces of wisdom I think the tree could give us is patience. Patience and acceptance. That you can only do what you are capable to do. You are only who you are. You come from wherever you came from, and you need to be accepting of that and be the best version of your best self. Accept when things change around you and have faith that it's a season and it's not forever. Have faith in God, knowing that the sun will set and it's going to rise again. And we're going to get this winter snow, but I'm going to get spring again. See, the tree's like, I have faith in spirit that all of that's going to keep happening. I believe it and I know it. And I know that I'm going to stand strong and tall for as long as God inspires me to live and allows me to grow. And when the day comes that I'm done growing, I'm going to let myself go and give to the next generation my seed. And I will live on through them. The tree is very wise. And they're all knowing. And they're deeply rooted and connected to us, to others. And they're like, I may not be able to have the ability to get up and walk and take myself from this place, but I have the ability to see from other perspectives, and I have the ability to feel from other beings, and I have the ability to communicate. And so the tree's like, when you're especially feeling helpless, like your hands are tied, and you can't change circumstances around you, and you are helpless, and you've done all you can do, the tree's advice is, put your faith in spirit. Ask spirit to do it for you. What you do not have the capability of doing, ask spirit and know that he is all possible and capable, which is faith. And just an example, Doja, it's like saying to spirit, I don't have the money to pay for everything that I need to pay for this month. Just an example. There's a severe financial issue. I'm not saying that's yours, but just go with me on this. I've worked all I could work, all the hours I could work. I've done all the avenues I can do to pay these bills. Please do what I can't do and make a way, please, for me to get my hands on the money that I need to get these paid. Be it that a gift from someone, be it a resource center that pays it for me, be it a friend that comes through for me or family that comes through for me, be it a refund, be it a surprise check from somewhere I didn't even expect it, but they owed it to me for many years. Be it you open up a door or a pathway to some place that I've been trying to get money from that finally releases that money. Or be it a new job opportunity that opens up for me so I can have a better income. But it's that faith where you just sit down and say, I've done all I can do, make a way for me, and know that God is good and he will provide. And that's that message from the tree. And it's what you need will be provided that you do all you can do. But if you've exhausted all your resources and all your ways, then Spirit will come through and do the rest. All you need to do is set your intention, believe and have faith in prosperity, that you deserve it, that God is good, that you are provided for, and you will not need. The fear is what makes people struggle. Fear. I see so many people struggling. They're in poverty or they're homeless and they're scared to move because all of their friends are there. Or they've got some special resource they got to hang on to. They're afraid that Spirit's going to relocate them to a more abundant land. And I like to think of it when God took out the Hebrews from being enslaved and said, I'm going to lead you to a land of milk and honey. And they weren't grateful during the waiting period, and they lost faith in him. And they started to create their own gods and worship the golden calf and try to conjure up ways to make a more abundant life for themselves. And that's when Spirit said, you know what? You're going to be stuck in the desert for the rest of your life. And your children will inherit the land of milk and honey, not you. And that's how they died. And so, you know, the advice of that story is don't give up because there's some hardship. Maybe you're being tested. Maybe you're not, and it's just a hard time, and it's your karma. Either way, take it for what it's worth. Be grateful that it's not worse. And wait and have faith because you know you are deserving of what you're asking, and it is coming to you. So yeah, your spiritual message for 2024 is have faith. And feel grateful. And feel like you've already received everything you need. And more will come. Under that is the Queen of Swords, which is direct. And I think she's got a strong faith because she has a lot of experience. She looks into the matter and sees the truth. She's knowledgeable. Two of Wands is picking a path, making a decision, choosing where to go, following through with it, and taking the next step. And Eight of Pentacles is continuing to have faith, consistency. Anytime you're in doubt, my God will come through for me. I am worthy of what I have asked to receive. And my Creator is great and abundant and able to give that to me. I am deserving of what I've asked for. I've earned it. I deserve it. And I am taken care of. I have no doubts or faith, or I have no doubts and I have nothing but faith that I will have what I need, that my needs will be met, that everything's going to work out in the end. I know this has nothing to do with prosperity, but I have a little message of a vision that came to me that has something to do with trusting God, trusting in Spirit, Source, Creator, and knowing and having faith that even though we don't see what's important and He's not busy explaining it to us, that we need to believe it. And the vision I had was a man rushing to take a trip, and he couldn't get the ticket on time. So he ran late to the taxi. The taxi ran late to the airport. He didn't get in line in time to purchase the ticket for the flight that just left. So he's bartering with the next fastest ticket. They didn't have a ticket for him. So he's panicked and he's got his backpack and his suitcase and he's trying to get somewhere. So then he runs to the train station And he tries to get a ticket there, but he's missed that train as well. At this point, he's fallen on his knees, exhausted, crying over all he wants and needs is to get to this place. And at every door and avenue, he's being told no, and he can't. And there's an urgency that he needs to see someone, on the other side over there. And as he's sitting there crying in despair, he is sitting next to someone with a child in what looks like a stroller or a carrier of some sort, who's choking very quietly and not breathing and turning blue. And had he not been sitting right there, quietly looking at the floor, looking around hopeless, aimless, hopeless and aimless, just lost, giving up. If he wasn't in complete despair at that moment, he wouldn't have noticed that child was choking. And the mother was reading a book and having her headphones in her ears. I'm saying that because this is in my vision. So she's distracted. This child is there quietly choking. No one knows. He instantly grabs the child, saves the child. Okay, CPR, whatever happened. He's saving the child. The next thing I'm seeing in my vision is this woman is saying, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You've saved my child's life. And I don't know the rest of the story. I don't know if she pays him. I don't know if he gets another ride. I don't know how he gets to where he needs to get. Maybe Spirit spared me that end of the story. I don't know, but it's not in my mind how the story ends for him. But what is in my mind with this vision is that he was at the right place at the right time. And wherever he was going wasn't as important as where he needed to be at that moment. There was a reason he had to be there, and that far exceeded any other thing that he was trying to get to. And I feel like the message in here, Doja, is sometimes we get on this little Two of Wands path where we know with our intention where we want to be, where I need to be, where I want to be. And Spirit knows exactly where we need to be, exactly. And for some reason, we have a struggle accepting that this is where we need to be right now, because we're too busy looking at all the other options of where we would rather go than here. And so the cycle that needs to be broken, I think, in your reading, Doja, is accepting that sometimes where you want to go isn't where you need to be. And what you want to have isn't what you need right now. It doesn't mean that it won't come through. It means there's something pressing. There's something coming. There is something around that is needing you. Or there's a lesson or an experience that you're needing to have. And we can get distracted with our own desires, but sometimes there's a reason in divine timing. And Spirit's like, I know you think everything's a delay and nothing's going right, and you're in complete despair. Just know that sometimes when I don't give you what you want, it's because I'm giving you what you need. And there is some kind of weirdness with the universe. Who knows? I can't explain the ways of God. But it's just strange that when we are in the energy of acceptance and gratefulness, it's just odd that our magnetism automatically, after we've accepted some kind of difficulty, some kind of hardship, some kind of closed door, it's just odd that once we've accepted it and we're okay with it and we find the beauty in it, that we get some kind of a reward, some kind of major blessing. Someone gets a brand new car, someone meets a brand new person, gets in a new relationship, somebody's blessed with a baby, somebody's blessed with a new house, somebody meets a brand new friend. I don't know. It's just very odd that once we've forgiven and let things go and we've given it up and we're like, okay, divine timing's a thing, all of a sudden we're blessed. So Spirit, about if you're at peace with that, then blessings will come your way. But you may not have all you want, but you have all you need. And there's some message this year in 2024 to be okay with that and to really work on faith. And I just, I don't know what your situation is with your person. I do believe that if you have a lack of options or this just seems impossible and you want to hang on to this person and that's your every intention, just realize that sometimes who we're wanting in our life isn't the right one for us. And I heard this funny thing in my mind. It's like, what if he has herpes and you don't even know it? What if he's got AIDS and you don't even know it? What if he's got terrible credit and he's in serious debt and he's going to be bankrupt in 5 years and you don't even know it? These are just thoughts. I'm not saying that is your life. That is your situation. It's just a funny thought. And it's like, there are things going on with people that we are pursuing that we do not know what's really going on. And if for some reason we keep getting a door closed on that person, why? Why would the universe try so hard to keep that person from us? Through all the magic, rituals, dedication, prayers, visualizations, mantras, everything. Why would there always be a door? And it's like Spirit's like, I know something you don't know. If you could be a fly on the wall like I am, you would know. There are some things you don't know, but know that you are too worthy for this person. And whoever's watching, and Doja especially, I want you to tell yourself this. If it is a constant closing, you are too worthy. It has nothing to do with you're too good. You're too worthy of more for that person. And it's true, doesn't matter how cliche it is, they're not on your level. They're not matching up with you. They're not pairing right with you. They're not spiritually ready for you. They're not right there for you. And maybe if your vibe would drop, if you would go backwards in time and not know what you know now and not be healed like you are healed now and not be wise like you are wise now, maybe then it could have worked. But after everything you are and everything you know, if there's a constant door, it's blocked for a reason. And as much as we want that more than anything, I guess it's the cliche truth. Sometimes some of God's greatest blessings and gifts are our unanswered prayers. And I'm not talking about children and stuff like that. I'm talking about relationships, even jobs. There's reasons. There's reasons beyond our knowing. And I love your message, Doja, because it speaks to me too. And it's have faith. Have trust. Don't you love me? Don't you trust me? Don't you know how much I love you? Don't you know how close we are? Says Spirit. Don't you know I want to make you happy? A smile on your face brings joy to my heart. I love it. And, just thinking about my kids. Oh, I could take my kids to Target every day, Doja. And honey, they will have they will have a shopping cart full. Mommy, I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that. Oh yeah. And even if they have that one special thing they want. Well, Mom, if you can't get me everything I want, can I get this one thing? This is just the one thing that I really want. It would change my life. I would be a better student. I would be a better kid. I would be so good. I would be so well behaved. Mom, I'll eat all my food. I'll go to bed early. I'll do all my chores. Please, Mom, can I just have this one thing? And as much as I want to say yes sometimes just to get all the goods, all the love, all the glory, yay, hallelujah, chores done, schoolwork done, no arguing, bedtime on point, yes, yes. You know what? Maybe this little $25 toy is going to do it for me this week. Maybe forego the coffees. Maybe I just need to buy this kid this toy and I'm going to have a better life. Better life. But then I think about the spoiled child. Would I be doing him any favors if I gave him everything he wanted and he didn't know disappointment? Then one day someone disappoints him and he can't cope and he wants to kill himself, or he wants to drink himself to death, or he wants to do something to hurt himself because he can't handle the disappointment because he's never been told no, because he's not used to not getting it after some deals. I'm not teaching him that strength, even if it's just a silly toy. And then also looking around what he has, seeing all that he has, he could give a lot of that away and maybe learn the value of things that are special versus having the full collection. Maybe he's going to turn into a man one day that wants 10 women and doesn't care who he hurts because they all look good, instead of choosing that one woman that he wants to cherish, take care of. I'm not just raising a happy little boy. I'm raising someone's husband. I'm raising someone's father. I'm raising someone's grandfather that's going to teach lessons. I'm raising a man that's going to be in a crazy world with a lot of instant gratification. And I got to remember that when these little silly things come up and they seem like an instant okay and it's no big deal. And I know, and I've told him when I've had to say no, I know in your heart right now that you want that more than anything. That's the one thing you're going to go to bed thinking about tonight is this toy. And you may go on thinking of it for a couple weeks, but eventually you're going to forget about it and it's not going to be a big deal. And if it is a big deal, if you still want this 2 months from now, which he probably won't, but let's say he did, if it's still on your mind every day and you really, really want that, and you really believe that would just change life, then let's discuss that then. See how worth it really is. What are you going to be willing to give up for that? You know, and because a lot of times it's like, well, it's not worth me giving up anything to have it. Well, then it's not worth it. You know, if you're going to fight for something so hard, what are you willing to sacrifice? And if you're not, then it's not. Anyways, I don't know. But that thought came to my mind, and it's like, we may really want something right now, Doja. You're in need, and you're praying, and you're wanting, and you're hanging on to it for dear life with all of your intention. It could be this relationship that needs to end. Maybe it's just a part of the cycle in your relationship that needs to end. Maybe it's a phase that needs to go. This wanting phase or this needing phase. I need him phase. Maybe these are the phases that need to go, and we need to step into this I have everything I need and want phase. There's some kind of spiritual phase in 2024, Doja, that says be at peace. And maybe your new intention would be, I have enough. I have enough. I am 100% full capacity. I'm at complete joy with my life. I don't need a man. I don't need a woman. I don't need more money. I don't need anything. I have everything that I want and need. I have it. And I have it. That is a cycle. That's a phase. That's an experience. I think I need to feel that experience. Marcus probably needs to feel that experience. Everybody needs to feel that experience. Why? Because all of us have something else on our list that we want, that we need, that we want to check off. Be it a car, a person, a place destination, an experience, an item, a body type. We all have this. I need to check it off. I got to have it. We all need this message, Doja. So don't feel like it's just for you. You came through divinely to help us get this message. We need to just be okay. We need to be grateful. We need to stop wanting. And that's a lesson to teach my boys and my kids and your kids and whoever. It's like we need to teach them, you don't need to keep wanting more. You can just sit here and be grateful. That's a thing. I mean, tell kids that, right? Tell my boys that are you happy? Good, because we don't need anything, honey. We're good. We don't need to go get nothing. This is good. And I feel like Spirit wants to say it's a phase. It's an experience. Spirit's like, I'm not going to close the chapter and the door of your life to never have anyone in your life. I'm not going to put a plug in the money you receive and that's it. That's the cap. I'm not going to say this is as good as it gets. There is no cap. But you are going through a lesson of gratitude. You are going through this phase, and I hope you find it. I hope you find it because what Spirit wants you to experience is peace. Just peace. Not worry, not lack, not need, just peace. That's the blessing. Spirit's like, I want to give you that peace. It feels so good. I need you to feel it. I need you to have it. It's good for you, and it's not that Spirit's trying to dictate your life and control every move that you make. But I think as a soul, we all need to feel that. That's important. That's something that's, it's up there on the high tier of you must feel that down here. You need to feel that. That's a need. Maybe it's even as important as you need to go there before you have more. You need to get there. Maybe that is literally one of the stepping stones to our ultimate manifestation achievements. Spirit's like, this is part of the path. You wanted to be on the path. This is part of it. I don't know. But that's where we're at. That's what I see for you, Doja. It's a very beautiful message. And thank you, because that was the message for all of us. So yeah, I find peace in nature, in this world, and rest for my body and my mind to stop worrying in order that I can connect to Spirit and just feel you and be good with it. That's the message for 2024. I think that should apply to many, many people. But that is definitely your message, okay? All right, well, I guess that's it. If nobody else has purchased the 100 Club, I think we'll say goodnight. No one else is here. I'll do some more 100 Club coming up, but I've been here for, 208 minutes? I think it's good to put this at a close. We'll do some more 100 Club later. All right. All right. Well, I love you guys. If you guys want to donate, you can do that down at the bottom. I'm always accepting donations of love exchanges, energy exchanges, thank yous. That's always there through Cash App or my website donation. Also, I offer a lot of services, so you're welcome to take a gander over there in the website below in description and just see if anything in there might interest you, something you might want to be involved with me. And I have another channel, so I hope you guys get on board with that. I'm about to broadcast very, very soon. I have a feeling it's going to be this weekend. I'm going to broadcast my new channel. It's going to be great. You're going to see me a lot more in person on that channel. It's in the description. And if you want to be a part of the 100 Club, it's listed in my website. Be a part of it. Get your reading too. You get one every month or every other few months, however long you want to get it, but it's there and included and more than half off. If you want to get a lot of free stuff, I'm just going to say a lot of free stuff, a lot of free readings. You want to get one big bang for your buck as far as the metaphysical world purchases out there. Please go ahead and think of subscribing to my website. Not only do I need your contribution to continue these readings and give you the ultimate time that I can give you, but it is a great thank you and support energetically between me being able to read for you and you receiving. So I'd really appreciate those. That is only $122 a month. It's in my website. Lots of free stuff in there. You'll see it. But if you can only afford something small, you wish you could do more, I'm perfectly happy with any donation you want to give. But if you want to get a subscription for yourself, just a small gift to you and a thank you to me, it is $33.33 a month, and you get a Celtic Cross full reading once monthly, and you get an oracle on the 11th once monthly. It pays for itself, so you're not just giving for nothing. You're giving, and I'm very graciously receiving, and you're also receiving, so it's an energy exchange. You're receiving a service. So if you can only afford that, I am super grateful, and that's also available on my website. I would love to see you as a part of my subscription family, and I love you guys very much. Thank you for watching me. May you be blessed throughout this journey that you're on. And like I always say, this is just a journey, and it has nothing to do with the destination for you. You're doing great. And thank you. And remember, just keep swimming. My deep divers. All right, guys, I love you, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, Peaches. Bye, Doja Cell. And bye, Rachel. You're beautiful, by the way. Stunning eyes. Thank you for watching me. Markers, I'm so blessed by you. Thank you so much for being here this whole time. I would miss you terribly if you weren't here. Hi, Kiss, JG, and welcome. Look at your beautiful hair. I'm so inspired. You look very spiritual, very psychic in that picture. Well, I'm so grateful to you guys for watching me. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.